So with it,
What's up? What's up? We
what's
back.
going on? What's going on?
Another episode, the Fiyah session.
We
We
in there
we got another dope session for y'all today. This
coming down swinging. What UGK say, Ken?
swinging and banging, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Flop, just them panky rings. Yes, sir. We in there.
Hey, man, we got a special edition today. We're not talking about dating. We're not giving y'all any dope information on anything beneficial today, other than these sports.
Other than these sports, we're gonna run it like Emmett.
Already, see, you saw what I'm saying? I got the Emmett on right now.
I, I mean, I mean, I figured. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the Emmett on. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
We got
Yeah.
the Fight Sports Edition today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if y'all been sticking with us for over the past 5 seasons, generally throughout the season, at least one episode, we're gonna hit you with just straight sports because we're big sports fans,
Big
right?
sports fans
We got a
all
lot,
over the globe.
we got a lot of stuff that we talk about, a lot of great information we give y'all, but we still got to lean on our passion a little bit for these
Yeah.
sports. So we want to talk about these sports today. So it's funny, but with us being in that time of the year where it's kind of like all these different sports going on at one time.
It's ladies, this is heaven for your man. Okay, you got to understand. We got baseball playoffs. We got NHL. If you watch hockey, I'm telling you, go to a hockey game. It's fire. We got basketball starting up. We got football, in the middle, stretching toward the best part of the year. We just got all of that. And sometimes, ladies, just let your man watch the game and chill out. Bring the brother some 101. It's like CT the Mills prep shit.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I went to my first hockey game when I think I was about 14 or 15. Really wasn't into hockey, growing up. The only person we really know was Wayne Gretzky. That's because he
Uh-huh.
was Pro Stars. You know what I'm saying? That old school cartoon with the Pro Stars, with
Right.
Michael Jordan and Bo Jackson. So, but I went to my first Stars game and Dallas Stars, and they happened to be playing the LA Kings. And if you remember the old school LA Kings, I don't know about now, but I remember the old school LA Kings, they were known for fighting.
Yeah, they were bullies. They,
So
they, they were fine.
you knew when the Kings came to play,
Right.
there was going to be fights. And when I tell you I tell people this all the time. You don't see all the fights on TV that you see it live
Live.
in the arena.
It's wild.
It's a
See, I
lot of
was a Detroit Red Wing fan coming up because I love red, so whatever. Sergei Fedorov and all my boys, like I used to watch it religiously, to be honest. So
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, no, it's better than what I could imagine. And I argue with people a lot, man, because I really think now this might be a stretch for some people, but I
I know
think
where you're going. I
I,
know where you're going, but go ahead and say it.
I think hockey is the most difficult of all the sports, bro. I think it is.
I
I
I
think
would
you
agree.
have, I think you have to have the most skill to be going that fast on them freaking skates with that little puck, bruh. The
With
stuff
that ice
those
and the
guys.
speed, and then you're gonna get hit like you playing football, and then you gotta maneuver like you playing basketball, but you own skates that are like this thin, bro. It's crazy, and you gotta watch all day, man. Like, cause that puck hits you, you done.
Man, there's a lot going on in the hockey game. So I give those guys a lot of credit for playing that sport. All professional sports are, played at a high level. So I always laugh when I run into guys and they be like, yeah, man, I could have made it to the league. And a lot of these guys don't understand the dedication and the skill level of a
Right,
pro athlete, right? Until you actually go somewhere and compete against somebody who's a pro. Like,
right.
I was really good at basketball as a young fella until I got around some other guys who played at a higher level. And I started to see, okay, it's not just about shooting. It's not just about jumping.
Yeah,
Like it's the small details of things that they do and the speed in which they do it at. Right.
man. Top notch speed. You got to go alien mode, bro. Like you got to have a little bit of alien in you to get to that level. So it's definitely a beast.
And I saw an interview with Tracy McGrady, and he was talking about, what I'm saying, how, it's a very small percent, less than 1% of, people actually make it to the pro level, especially like
Right.
basketball or something like that. And then you got to think about how small that window is of actually guys who are the 1% of the 1%, like Tracy McGrady, who
Right.
is, you know what I'm saying, who was a superstar in the league.
Alien mode, bro.
Yeah.
Like I saw that interview, man, and because he was talking about Penny, but bro, like alien mode to be able to be on that level to put up 50, 60, 30 a night. You could drop 50 a night, you could drop 50 in a game, 60 in a game, and then average 30 on NBA players, the best of the best.
Yeah.
Bro, it's a different level. It's a different level. So respect to the highest degree, but I still would get one shot up. I mean, I go 1 for 10, but I get a shot up, man.
Man, they're gonna throw you a shot into the rack. Hey, let me tell you what, like I tell people all the time, man, I'm not a short guy, but I went to the court one time. I think I was maybe about 2021. There was some guys that was local guys, not gonna name names, but they was local guys and they came to the local gym, you know what I'm saying, during the off season to get some runs. And it's pretty competitive at that gym. Shout out to Cummins Gym in Dallas and Oak Cliff. It's pretty competitive in there on Saturday mornings, you know what I'm saying, at that point in time.
Right.
So see those guys walk in, you say, okay, I'm gonna have to step my game up. I gotta do something different. So, you know, you sizing them up. Okay, we about the same height. You know what I'm saying? These guys are a little longer because when you see some of those pros, especially basketball guys, like their arms are extremely long.
7'2", 7'3" wingspan.
It's just those small details, right? So I wasn't even paying attention to that. So we start the game, we get the ball first. The dude, you know what I'm saying, is guarding me. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna post him up because he probably he may be 200. At that point, I was like 235, 240. I got a little size on him. I'm gonna post him up and hit him with a little, you know, a little post move and, you know, lay the ball up. Say, man, hit him with a post move and laid it up, and he spanked it off the backboard. I was like, oh, okay. So this is how it's going to be. But again, man, people don't understand the dedication, the skill level that it takes to be a professional athlete. So shout out to those guys. If you're a pro athlete at any level, at any league across the world, you're special.
I respect it. I respect it.
Point
Although
blank.
my ego would tell me I'd get a bucket. So I'm going to get a bucket. I'm going to get a steal. I'm going to get a rebound.
I mean,
Do
you know,
something.
hey, you can, as my pops say all the time, you can take a crap in one hand and wish in the other and see which one fill up first. Hey, everybody got wishes, baby. Everybody,
right.
You know, but man, like I said, I got a lot of respect.
The hustle is sold separately. The dream is free.
Facts. All right, so before we get started, as usual, Benji, my man, how you doing? How's your week started off?
Man, we in there. We chilling, man. We making stuff happen. Trying to figure out how to be the best businessman possible. Make it all happen. Make it all work. Figuring it all out. And man, I can tell you, man, the stuff I'm learning, man, nowadays is amazing. I know it's going to be beneficial. Not so much as now, but down the road, when we're actually implementing everything, putting everything in place, it's going to be dope. But man, it's like going to school, man, trying to learn how to be an entrepreneur, making it happen, understanding the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, and how to keep the ship, you know what I'm saying, running. So man, that's kind of how it is, and just enjoying every moment I can, man, with my son, whatever, man. Just taking the time out to enjoy the small stuff, laugh at the simple stuff, stop, smell a rose if you have to. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you need to do because you know life is just different nowadays. Plus, it's the holiday season, so you know the honeys come out. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying. They're trying to find somebody to be in matching pajamas with. So, you know, that's always interesting.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, it's always about chasing that bag, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You always gotta let that be the focus. You know what I'm saying? You can do a lot of other stuff in life, but that's the one thing that's necessary. So you can't let nothing mess up your paper, man.
You better believe it.
All right,
man. And I know you dealing with some things, bro. So I know you've had a tough week and so forth and all that. And but prayers definitely to you, the family, man, y'all fam. So heart goes out to you, your family, pops, and all that for the loss of the matriarch of the family, so to speak. You know.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate that, man. And that's why you say, you got to value life. You got to value the people that are around you. And we definitely do that in my family. So, what I'm saying? It's about a celebration of life, not not being sad about the loss. What I'm saying?
Right.
Just being able to celebrate, what I'm saying, what she brought to the world and, what I'm saying, the greatness that she brought, i.e., what I'm saying, me. She
Right.
helped me get here. So,
Yeah. Yeah. See, there you go. See what I'm
you know,
saying? You
I
know what
mean,
I'm
hey,
saying?
what I'm saying? You got to show that appreciation. So I appreciate.
Create a dope family though, bro. Like we not just me. I know there's a lot of people out there, man, that admire how you and your family handle things, how y'all close knit group, man. Coming up in our circles, man, like you didn't see that all the time. So, man, we respect that, man, and I know there's some other people out there that respect it as well. So, uh, deepest condolences go out to the family for sure, bro.
Facts. Appreciate that for sure. And we're gonna get the show started off today. As we said, this is our sports edition. Uh, we got
Sports.
we got some crazy news this morning. We want to talk about first and foremost before we even get started, and that's Brittany Griner. Brittany
Uh,
Griner to begin her 9-year sentence. Right now,
mm,
for the most part, with me, I've been pretty quiet about this. I
right,
don't I don't have a lot of commentary on it per se, but what I will say is, I think it's more than just Britney's situation. I think this is a political move by Russia and between the United States. I think that's what this is.
right,
A lot of people look at it as, her being, pinpointed because she's a woman and, all these other factors, which could be true, but
right,
I really think it's something political going on there. And she's just, as they say, a pawn in the game of, what I'm saying, them going back and forth. And she just happened to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time with the wrong things.
right.
And
Well, I listen to Jalen Rose a lot,
mm,
and there's a piece that he put out that she's no stranger to Russian policy, Russian ideas. She's actually pretty well known and worshipped over there in Russia. She's not just considered just an American that's there. So when you say it's political, yeah, he believes it's totally political, right? Because she's been in and out of the airports and all of that for years. So it's not like she didn't know. It's not like she didn't understand the policy. It's like they didn't know. It's like they see her all the time at these airports. So she became a target. So I took that. I like to take information that I believe is totally credible and run with that. And I'm looking at the situation like, okay, what does Russia stand to gain from this? If I'm a dictator, what would I gain from holding any American citizen? Negotiation.
yeah,
If I'm
facts.
trying to get one of my biggest, whatever you want to call it, killers out or whatever, I'm going to see how much you value her,
Yep.
right? She's valuable to Russia because she makes money for Russia. She does actually good work over in Russia. She's not just some pawn that's over there and they don't know her. From what I've heard him say is she's considered pretty much a queen over there in Russia. So for her to be, she's valuable to them. So to look at it in that aspect, I'm sitting there thinking like, well, how much does America value her? And then that's where you get into all of the politics. And I think that's exactly what it is.
Yep. Like I said, man, it's one of those unfortunate situations because when they were talking about that, I heard that situation, that scenario that you just talked about. I heard it on a couple of different news platforms where they were talking about they were trying to get that guy. I don't know his name, but they call him the merchant.
Yeah, I'm forgetting his name, but he's a killer.
They call him
Like
the they call him the death merchant. So
yes.
if that means anything,
Yes, and they're trying to get him free. So that's the first name that was pitched to Biden in exchange for Brittany Griner. So that lets you know right there. But again, we're dealing with dictatorships. everybody's, they thinking for themselves. They want the homie free the homie. So
A basketball player for a terrorist.
and several of my military friends, partners would be like, that's not an even exchange.
It's not, man. But you know what?
It's and some of them are like, no, I wouldn't do it. And I'm like, whoa. And that's shocking to hear. But that's their reality. That's how they feel. If you've caught somebody who did what, I don't know his murder count, but he's a known murderer, you know what I mean? They wouldn't exchange for no Brittany Griner. Like, and
Well,
they would tell you. And I think that's where it gets political, and that's where you step back because you're like, I can't put myself in a military dude's shoes and say, hey, that and that. Now our community, we want BG. You know what I'm saying? We don't want the ladies up in no Russian prison. You get what I'm saying? So hard pill to swallow, hard thing to think about for sure.
well, for me, you have to look at the fact that it's one of those deals where Brittany's over there, and it's strategic, right?
Right.
For me, because I mean, you got to take the emotion out of it, right? The
You
average
do.
person is looking at it from an emotional standpoint, but from a strategic standpoint, that trade is not even anywhere close to even, right?
Right.
So why would you do that? Of course, it's a good look for America to go over there and get one of their citizens and bring them back. It's the noble thing to do, but in order for that trade to happen, I don't know, man. And if that's truly the case, that's a tough one. That's a tough decision, man.
It is. Like, and then you have to get into the whole idea of whether you want to put yourself in military folks' shoes. And I don't know if I want to do that because they sacrifice a lot. So that's a tough pill to swallow. So
No, I would never do that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and I just can't. I ain't even trying to step on that territory like that because that to me to comment on that would be super disrespectful. So I ain't fighting the wars and do this and do that. So it's a different story for me. So
Yep, because I guarantee you, if something goes on with that trade and something doesn't go right, you're looking at war. You're looking at a
of
start.
course, of
So
course,
it's
that's a tough pill, man.
yeah, it's more than just a trade between those two. It's much bigger than that, I believe. So, but like I said, prayers for her and her family. I know this is difficult for them to have a
Right,
loved one, not in just jail, period, but in jail in a whole nother country.
right.
So especially Russia, I'm saying from the movies and things that we've seen, like
Yeah,
jail over there is real jail. It's
yeah.
like
So I'd hope she's being taken care of. I don't know. I'd hope. My heart of hearts, I want to believe that she ain't being treated like a common criminal. That's. I mean, I know it's difficult way for family. That's what I would hope. That she's not being treated like a common criminal. That's what I would hope. And that's just me hoping the best for the situation.
Yeah, I mean, well, hopefully that's the case, man. And we just hope that, what I'm saying, they can find a solution to it and hopefully get her back home. So
For
we
sure.
that
I
out.
mean, but listen, man, rules are everywhere, man. Don't y'all? You can't say the F word in Dubai, right? So y'all be careful when y'all traveling and going. These folks got rules and laws, man. They ain't playing with y'all. Be careful out there.
Yeah, especially ladies going over there to get doo-dooed on, when you go to get doo-dooed on in Dubai, it's rules, you know what I'm saying? You just
I
go,
mean, I
hey,
mean, in Washington D.C., it's illegal to do missionary in Washington D.C. That's on the books. I'm just saying.
well, I'm just saying, man, you go into these other countries, it's rules and it's regulations that, what I'm saying, you really need to do your research on. And, again, don't want to be redundant, but she's been over there for a while and she knew the rules, she knew the laws.
Right.
And from my perspective, I think she's gone through, their airports before with exactly what she had in that bag that
Exactly.
and
And
she
they
just
targeted her, and
yeah,
they knew they was gonna get her.
yeah.
Like
So
she carries it in her. She carries it in her. Yeah, we're gonna get her this time. I guarantee you that's not the first time she had some hash oil. I guarantee you.
yep. So like I
Especially if brothers. You know what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters. Folks just be. Folks got to get their puff on, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Anxiety levels be on 12, 50. So trust me, man. Yeah, and I believe she was targeted. But hey, what can you say, bro?
Yep. And you know, we stand in that lane of that WNBA. We're gonna shift over to the NBA, and we got some great stuff coming for y'all in the first section of the NBA talk tonight. The NBA season is just getting started, really. There's some very
Yeah,
interesting things already already occurring. Um,
interesting.
so let's take a look at some of these divisions and break those down. Let's talk about these individual teams first. We're going to have up the Southwest Division first.
Okay.
Uh, we got San Antonio, we got Memphis, New Orleans, Dallas, and Houston. So out of this group, who are you expecting to be still, what I'm saying, hanging around come playoff time?
Well, I'm gonna give it to Memphis first. I think
Mhm.
they'll be the first one to come out of there. They seem like their camaraderie. They didn't switch up a lot in the offseason and add new players and do this. They still got the roster from last year that was actually pretty good. Could have beat Golden State if you asked me if they were healthy, but that's another story. And then I'm gonna take Dallas, but man, part of me looks at New Orleans and be like, man, they got a squad, but them brothers can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
And it's that's the troubling part for me. So I'm gonna go with Memphis. And Ja look like he trying to win MVP this year. That boy balling.
I think this pretty much the same thing. Of course, I'm a Dallas guy, so I got to rock with my Dallas squad because they added some new pieces with Woods and JaVale McGee. So I think that shored up their front line. To go with Luka in their backcourt, it gives him some other lob threats. You know what I'm saying, because of the way he plays and he can probe and shoot and score,
Right,
but also penetrate and be able to kick it to somebody who can finish. And
right,
also has shooters around as he's always had. So he's got Tim Hardaway back healthy. Or Tim,
right. Which they was missing last year, which could
correct.
have helped. Spencer Dinwiddie is the guy that I'm paying attention on their roster to see if he takes like that next step up, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah, too. So that's what I'm saying. Like they're loaded with
Right.
talent. So I think from that division and from the West in general, I think you'll see Dallas in that top tier of those teams that'll be in the playoffs and they have the squad to make a deep run.
I
So
like the addition of Woods too, running their bench. I actually I'm a Celtic fan, so wanted the Celtics to actually scoop him a couple of years ago. Thought he would be dope, but him coming off that bench for them, I like that, man. I like that. Houston, just too young. They're gonna be a problem in the coming years, though. If them boys stay healthy, if they get to where they need to get, them boys gonna be a problem because Jalen Green, they got Porter. They just got the Smith Jr. kid from Auburn. If they can keep it together, man, they're gonna be pretty good down the road. So we'll see.
yeah, and I know people are looking at that saying, San Antonio has the best record, so far. They don't play 4 games.
It's
But
early. They done
but
got rid of everything, so they tanking secretly.
it's early, but any team that has Popovich as the coach is going to be competitive. So, you know,
Facts.
I'm not surprised to see them have early success. But as the season goes on, with the talent that they currently have, I don't see them, going making a deep playoff run or anything like that.
Right. They'll fade out. I got them fading out 20-25 games in. We'll see them. We'll see that shift for them to fall down toward the bottom of the. Although they got some young, good talent, man. Popovich can coach young talent, man. That I don't know what it is, but he's just a good coach. Period. The dude can coach talented guys, man. He knows how to get what he needs out of them. So that's dope.
All right, so let's hop to the Pacific Division of the West. We got Phoenix, Golden State, LA, Sacramento, and the Lakers. The Lakers, bruh, the Lakers.
Shout out to the Clippers for having DJ Quick and Sugar Free at their halftime show a couple days ago.
Well, out of that division, it's already Golden State off the top. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, you listen. But do we need to really spend a lot of time on in that one? They taking that, bro. If that Poole, Kuminga, Wiseman, they loaded, man. If
Yep.
them boys, if Kuminga be what we think he's going to be, bro, like, and Wiseman has been in the league a few years now. He's getting that coaching from Dre. Them boys gonna be a problem, man. They might win it again this year, man. I don't know.
Yeah, because unlike most teams that win a championship, like they kind of are the best they're going to be. They actually got better.
They
They
did
won
because their
and
younger guys got better.
Mhm.
I mean, their older guys, we got to see. I would hope Clay would be better this year
Clay.
because
Even if you got Clay at what he was last year, and everybody stayed at that same level, the fact that you add Wiseman to that mix and you
right,
see Poole has gotten better. I mean
yeah,
that alone, takes them to a different level. So as long as they're
agreed.
healthy, they're gonna be the top team probably in the West. So
Of course, people looking at the Clippers, but listen, man, Clippers can't stay healthy, man. I like Wall. The fact that you could get him for the cheap because Houston is paying his contract, so you're really giving him whatever 6 million, whatever. He's really on like a trade player exception deal, you know what I mean, so to speak. Houston is basically paying his salary, so you get he's been injured, top level point guard to man your team. He's cool with coming off the bench, not playing 40, 50 minutes a game. He's cool with playing 24, 25. And then you got Kawhi. Then you got PG. You got a squad, but can they stay healthy? That's why I ain't pick. I wouldn't pick the Clippers out of that division. I'm gonna take Golden State. And call me crazy, whatever you want to say. The Lakers will. The Lakers will be still in the mix. I know they look crazy right now, but it's LA, bro. They gotta start with crazy and all of that extra stuff and do all of that for the media. But they gonna end up being there.
I
So
don't, because speaking of the Lakers, man, I found some footage that was pretty interesting this week. So we got to show this footage of the Lakers, man, and it just tells the story so far. As their season is getting started. So let's check out a little bit of this footage, man.
With it. 30 seconds remaining. Westbrook comes down, uncorks a jumper too strong. Rebound to.
did you see when you look at that? Did you see how LeBron and AD looked?
And that's what that video shows. That let me run it again because at the bottom is showing LeBron and AD.
With it. 30 seconds remaining. Westbrook comes down, uncorks a jumper too strong. Rebound to.
Why shoot it?
It's
And I get it. He's going for the 2-for-1. I get it. But the smart thing is kick it around. Let's get us a bucket. We probably can get the rebound. I don't know if they were leading in rebounds that night, the Lakers, if they were beating Portland in rebounds that night, if they won the rebounding, that would have been huge. But for us to come down and think 2-for-1, which is the only thing I could think of with 30 seconds left, it's like, bro, come on. We just need a bucket.
well,
Like, why shoot that shot that early? 18 seconds left on the clock.
well, no, from what
The
I
shot
saw,
clock.
where they said it was 30 seconds left in the game, they were up to, and he
Right.
comes down and takes that shot. Where it's like just come down, you get a good shot or easy two, you're up
Right.
4, then they got to come down and score twice. You know what I'm saying? Instead
Right.
of you taking that shot, now they get a possession where they can come down and they can score the tie, or they can actually win that thing.
And
So
anybody that it's like giving Tom Brady the ball with a minute left. You don't give Dame Dollar a chance to put it away. That would be in my mind. Like the dude can pull up from 3 from heaven and drain it. Like I wouldn't even want to put myself in that position because can you play D? Lakers got a good defense this year. They're actually, I believe, number 1 in the league this year, defensive wise. So they're playing pretty good defensive. But I wouldn't even want to put that pressure on my defense. But it's Russ, man. He's digging himself a hole. He doesn't look happy, man, in LA. It just doesn't seem like a fit, which is weird because he's an LA kid. And he doesn't fit the LA scene as far as basketball and the media and all of that. It's just weird, man.
But that means absolutely nothing to me because he's from LA. I mean, I thought that at first, but that means absolutely nothing to me.
Right.
But I'll say this. The next two clips will show you that he's not the only one that's AKA Shaqtin' the fool for the
Oh
Lakers.
yeah. Of course not. He's not.
Let's check out this next clip.
For sure.
Free Brian, man. Brian don't give a shit no more. New shot clock. Look at the shot Brian take. And they got the AC on in there. I'm tight. I'm hot. Free Brian. Free Brian.
Free. Shout out to Famous Los for the the comments on that clip. Man, all I'm saying is it's early.
A logo shot.
They look bad, man. They look bad.
Shot. Like why? Why would you in your 20th year pull up for a logo shot with a fresh shot clock?
Is it I'm trying to get my legs under me, trying to figure it out?
Well, you can get
like let me see what I can do. Because is it a heat check? What is it, man? What would you do in that situation, Ken? You the shooter.
I would not be shooting no logo shot for sure. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the beginning of a shot clock, like you just got the ball back on the back tap, so you got a fresh clock. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not pulling up shooting no logo shot. You know what I'm saying? Now, is LeBron capable of hitting that? Yeah, a lot of those guys are capable of hitting that, but you gotta play the percentages. What are the percentages that LeBron hits that shot? Now, if that's Steph, okay. If that's Dame Dollar, okay.
For sure.
Like those two guys, Ice Trey, shoot it. Okay, right. Because you can shoot that, and you've proven that you can hit that shot at a high clip. LeBron, not so much, sir.
I mean, overall, man, they're shooting terrible from the 3-point line. If I'm correct, there's a team that's shooting about 22% from the 3-point line. So, I mean, man, just not a good look. But again, it's early. We got to give LA media something to talk about.
Hold on. We ain't finished. Speaking of terrible shooting, we got one more clip to show you of the Lakers. Terrible shooting. We got one more clip. Check this out.
And can they hit two in a row? Ooh, hit the side of the board. They did hit their last one. And can they hit two in a row? Ooh, hit the side of the board.
She's a brick.
The disrespectful part
House.
The guy guarding him just looks at him and starts walking back the other way before he lets it go. That's not
now here's my beef. He worked with Lethal Shooter in the offseason. How you shooting that bad? He must. All I can say is he obviously didn't put in the work we thought he put in, because AD ain't looking like championship AD did a couple years ago. And how you shoot off the side of the backboard, Pimpin? The side. I ain't even did that, and I ain't the greatest shooter in the world.
And it wasn't even contested. The guy was walking back the other way.
Nobody was in his face.
Was letting him shoot it.
Right. That tells you how bad they shooting from three. I want you to take that shot. Take it. I ain't gonna even run out for that. Take the shot.
Yeah.
So Braun mentioned that in one of his interviews. He was like, well, you guys are shooting a lot of threes. He was like, well, a lot of those threes, maybe they're leaving us open for those shots so they can clog the lane because we're not shooting it well. So I understand it. I wouldn't run out there neither unless you got that wet, So, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, man.
Lakers suck this year. I mean, but they always suck. I don't care. Just go on and put it out there. They always suck. So.
Yeah, well, like I said, when you got the greatest player on the planet, arguably, still in his 20th year, and he's still playing at such a high level, I think people would expect more from them. But hey,
it's early. 3 games in.
It's early.
give him a little bit of a break, I guess. But hey, cut him no slack. Hollywood minute. You in LA. You can't suck like that. You can be forgotten out here. that quick.
Facts. All right, let's move on to the next one, the Northwest Division of the West. We got Portland, Utah, Minnesota, Denver, Oklahoma City.
I know Oklahoma City is building, so Shea Gildress is out. The skinny Sean Bradley kid is out. They just building. Rumors are that they're trying to tank again so that they can get Wemby. So they can do the Twin Tower little joint. Out of that division, I know people have high hopes for Minnesota. I ain't hype on them. They play dumb basketball. Portland going Denver. I'm gonna take Denver. Denver's going to be, especially if Murray is healthy again. Even if he ain't healthy this year, that division they'll handle that. Portland looks good right now because they got Jeremy Grant. They got the young kid. I'm forgetting his name. He's balling right now too.
Anthony Simmons.
Yeah, Anthony Simons. He's balling right now. So I got them at 2 spot after Denver because Denver, I believe, is a championship contender if they are healthy. They are my sleeper team. I had them in the bubble. I had them doing some work until got hurt. And that was like my sleeper team. And then, of course, Porter is hurt too. He's out there now, I believe. But overall, they're my sleeper team. So I'm going to roll with Denver in that division. They're going to take that.
Yeah, he's been playing. So, I think Denver, because of everything you named, plus, they got the Joker. So, they're probably the team to go through. But I think also
MVP again. I'm going to go on the record.
Yeah, that Portland is definitely, going to be a team to compete with. So those two teams are going to be, battling it out in that division.
For sure.
For sure.
I got the Joker as the MVP again, bro. Utah, I like Danny Ainge, he knows how to find good players and he doesn't finesse. Danny Ainge finessed the hell out of Minnesota with that Gobert trade. Gobert? Rudy Gobert? He finessed the hell out of them. So Utah is going to play hard. So we'll see. They're still going to suck toward the end of the year. Eventually, I have no faith in Kelly Olynyk. They got rid of Donovan Mitchell. So, I mean, hey, we shall see. But they're going to play hard. That's the one thing you're going to get, I think, with Utah this year. Them boys are going to play hard. So look for them to play hard. They won't be an easy out for everybody this year.
Facts. I have to agree. So let's move on to the next one. We got the Central Division. We got Milwaukee, Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit, Indiana. So, I mean, you already know it's Bucks.
It's the Bucks, yeah.
You got to go through the Bucks. Giannis is arguably the best player in the league.
Yes.
He's certainly the most dominant player in the league. I saw a play the other night where he basically took the rebound and went coast to coast and did a spin move and finished. And I'm like, at 7 foot, being able to do stuff like that, bro, there's nobody in this league could do to really stop him.
You can't. He is Shaq was like somebody criticized Shaq and was like, Shaq, you couldn't do the stuff Giannis do. He was like, you crazy. I was the original Giannis. Like I was doing that in Orlando. So to see Giannis do that now, yeah, the boy is a beast. All right, Giannis is a monster. Okay, I pissed off every time I hear Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let me tell you why, bro. Because the Celtics had him in for a workout. They passed up on him. They loved his motor, everything about him. Just didn't love his shooting. They went and got Kelly Olynyk. They went up in the draft to get Kelly Olynyk, and they passed on Giannis Antetokounmpo. So every time I hear Giannis, I get sick to my stomach. And that's the reason why. Before Brad Stevens became the coach and the GM and all of that, Danny Ainge drafted Kelly Olynyk and went up in the draft to get him and passed on Giannis. So I'm sick, and I don't even want to have that conversation no more. Cleveland is the next best thing in there with Donovan Mitchell. So
yeah, we passed on him too. So Dallas can't say too much. Yeah, I mean, but I mean, what did he go? 13, 15?
Who, Giannis?
In the 15th? Yeah, he
He went
went.
16.
Okay, let me say he went further down in the draft. So a lot of teams are sick because they didn't pick him. And I mean, I think if I remember correctly, he said the Mavericks said that he was too thin and he was too much of a project to
Yes.
actually, what I'm saying, and that's what a lot of teams thought. But hey, the Bucks thought different and they gambled and they won because
And they
now,
won on it.
yeah, one big.
And they were talking about his shooting, and I get it, but you can't teach motor, man. You can't teach a dude that just goes hard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like Detroit. They're just too young. That they'll be up and coming. I like the hard nose there. Chicago just too injured for me. Them boys got them Derrick Rose knees. They need to exchange for Megan Thee Stallion. They need the Megan Thee Stallion knees on that team. So that Zach and Ball, Caruso can't stay healthy. They don't know what to do with Kobe White. Like they just need. I don't know what they're doing, but I will say this. Like I said, them boys need to go see Megan Thee Stallion and get some stem cells in their knees from her or something like that.
Yeah, man, I have to agree with you again on those because, like I said, really outside of Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee is definitely the shoe in.
Right.
But hey, a lot of these teams are young and have a lot of talent, so they'll be able to make some things happen, but just not this year.
Yeah, not happy. Not happy.
All right, let's go to the next division, the Atlantic Division of the East. We got Boston, New York,
Easy work.
Brooklyn, Philly. I mean, I think this is a competitive division outside of New York.
It is. It's probably
Boston.
the toughest division, but Boston got it locked. Boston got it locked. We always have Philly's number. Brooklyn does not seem like they want to play. Toronto is always a tough out for us because they're young, they hustle hard. New York, you can expect them to fold. They like the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The new Cowboys, the old Cowboys, you didn't want to see them in the playoffs. Emmett and Troy and all of them. You didn't want to Nate Newton and Leon Lett and Rod was what's Woodson. I'm forgetting his first name.
Darren.
Woodson boy. Darren
Yeah.
Woodson.
Yeah.
You didn't want to play them boys because they lay you out. But them New York Knicks, them the modern day Cowboys. Them boys will let everything go. So
I ain't going to accept that disrespect because there are far worse teams in the NFL than the Cowboys. So
we talking about just letting it go, bro. The Knicks. I don't know what it is about the Knicks, bro. They just seem to fade at the wrong time, and they've been doing that since the John Starks days.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing is the management. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going out getting the right players and marrying the right coaches to the right players. So the chemistry is not there. So they're going to get talent. And a lot of people, look at that and say, well, they got all this talent. Well, having a lot of talent don't mean nothing if you
don't win games.
Yeah, if you don't have the right collection of players plus the right coach. So that's the championship pedigree and the championship, formula. So don't have that, it's not gonna work no way. So
at all, and it shows every time with them. But it's all right. Boston got that on lock, man. I expect Jaylen Brown take the next step. There's talk of them being Brown and Tatum being the best duo. I like the squad. I like that they've built out the bench with more veteran guys. Vonleh, Brogdon, Batman Williams is actually playing really good. You got some decent pieces coming off the bench for them. So they finally kind of got out of that phase where they had all them draft picks and all that young talent. And they've put some older guys, not old, but older guys around the young talent that's balling. Mm-hmm. And I like them again, even though we got the situation with Ime. But I guess the hope with that is they didn't actually fire your boy. So he might come back. But it might be hard to get your job back if Mazzulla gets this team to the next level as well. You might just be on the outside looking in for longer than a year. So that's very possible.
But I think you still can, discount Brooklyn because they to me, they probably have the most talented lineup, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, out of that division. So if KD's clicking, and if you can get Ben to play defense and rebound, because it's all you need him to do, and Kyrie do his thing, they're going to be tough. They're going to be
Right.
tough, when it comes to the playoffs and stuff like that. Because I mean, I think the X factor definitely is Ben. People have been
Yeah.
on his head. They've been playing with his top for years, saying he couldn't shoot, he can't do this. And I've been telling people since he came out of college, since he came out of high school, matter of fact, he's a rim runner. He's going to
Right.
get the ball off the rebound, and he can take it full court and finish, and he can also distribute. So
Right.
that's what he does. He's not a shooter. Can he shoot? Yes, he can shoot.
But
Is
he's
it a
not a knockdown
yeah?
shooter. You get
Is
what
it
I'm
a
saying?
mental thing? And that's what people say, he can't shoot. I'm like, every NBA player can shoot
Well, shoot. Yeah.
in the game. No, because that's not what he's supposed to be doing. That's, like I said all the time, you don't see Superman running around shooting spider webs, because it's not a shoot. That's
It's
not
not
his
right.
superpower.
He ain't shooting webs.
That's not a shoot. That's not his superpower. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think they're going to use Ben properly and let him play some of the five so he can grab the board, take it, run up the court with it. The question is will that back holder, and this was my only, because, he had the back situation. Will his back hold up against those big guys? We're talking Giannis. We're talking Embiid. Who else we talking in the East that's big? I know Sabonis ain't there no more. But we're talking, those bigs in the East. Will he be able to hold up and play that five and stick with that? Because Brooklyn got a squad, man. They, on paper, they got loads of talent. Question is again chemistry. Does Kyrie want to be there? Does he want to play ball? It's a contract year for him. He should want to, but when he tell you he ain't tripping about the money and all of that, I mean, what can you do? So they got the squad. Joe Harris is back, so the three ball is popping. They got a squad, man. It's just a matter of it being together, them wanting to play together. And we know that they'll be tops in the East. They'll folks got them at the 6 and 7 spot. I ain't got them down that far. I got them at least 4. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Well, I don't see Kyrie having the same issues that he'd had in the past, because last year it was the the vaccination and all
Mm-hmm.
that other stuff going on. Now that stuff is past, I think he can really just focus and play some ball. So hopefully, with KD realizing that, his time is running out, his clock is
Yeah.
running out. He's not getting younger, you know what I'm saying? So that window of him to be successful without, these other, mega stars, on the roster, he has to seize that moment as well. So I think for them, this is probably that year that if they don't prove it this year, then I don't see them being on the same squad again next year.
I can say the same. I would totally agree. Totally agree.
Yep.
Philly, yeah, they just I ain't too high. They don't play
Yeah.
defense, man. They 30th in transition defense. Yes, it's early, but they 30th in transition defense. That's terrible after 4 games.
I love
You
him.
haven't you haven't played killer teams yet. Like, come on.
But I love Embiid and I love Maxey. I love that
Yeah,
potential.
Tyrese Mexican ball.
Those two players being able to play together. What James Harden brings, it's on and off, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people discount his ability to distribute the ball. So when James realizes, in games that, what his role is that for that game, because again, people don't realize, people always talk about a player's role, but a player's role like James can change, based on the matchup.
Right.
Some nights he can cook the guy that's guarding him, so he gonna hit 30.
Right.
And other nights they don't need him to hit 30, they need him to distribute. They
Right.
need to be an offensive threat, draw coverage, and then distribute the ball. So, as long as he realizes that, I think they'll have a good shot as well, because Embiid is a really dominant player as well.
He is. Question is, though, his health is a concern. Supposedly he had off-season surgery, I believe, plantar fascia, somewhere with them feet. So we'll see. He's been injury prone, and that's my only concern with him. But that to me is, whether you taking the game serious in the offseason or not. I don't know. I ain't around him, but I mean, it might take them a while. And I don't know if you want to fall that far down in the East this year because it's not as bad as it once was before. There's some balling teams in the East that you might not get a chance to catch up with if you ain't ready at the beginning of the year. So we'll see.
Yep.
What? What's happening?
Man, I know. Like I'm here. I made it, y'all.
Glad to have you in. Glad to have you in. Join in on this
What I
conversation.
miss? What I miss?
So right now we're just talking about the NBA. We've been going through the divisions, talking about basically kind of giving a breakdown for each division, and looking at the teams that we expect to be successful, and some of the teams that we already know before the season even starts, they already out of it.
AKA the Lakers.
Yes. Okay, let me just ask you off the top, Trisha, who you got winning it all this year, basketball, before we go forward.
Oh, I'm going with my Warriors. I mean, because my team is Lakers always, though. I'm not even gonna lie, but I love me some Curry, and I still feel like they are forced to be reckoned with still. Like
facts.
It's not over yet, like at all. Ain't nobody got them. Like no one has them locked up yet.
Well, like we talked about, they actually got better. They actually won the championship and got better with this.
Do you see them coming out? Just like it's just great right now.
With Wiseman, and if Wiseman can contribute what they feel like he can and what he should, their team could be really scary come playoff time, especially if they're completely healthy. So
for sure,
no time soon, and no time soon.
And you know what? Poole, outside of him getting stole on, is
having bing ricochet rabbit.
He's having an amazing start to his season. So
yeah, he is. But I mean, he's been like somebody that you kind of see like, okay, he be doing his thing though, and he's already been like doing that. So yeah, he's having a great start to his season anyway, regardless of getting a little roughed up.
Yeah, he got stole on. He got. I hate to mention the dead, but he got Kobe'd by Chris Childs. So I mean, it happens.
No, that was worse, bro.
The Drake stole on him way worse, but Kobe got in game, swung on.
Yeah, but Chris
got a 2-piece.
He got a 2-piece, but it was whack. How you hit that man in the throat twice? You don't knock him out. You don't knock him down. Nothing.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
It was funny though. It was funny.
Of course, it was hilarious. And anytime you get swung on in game, yeah, that's hilarious.
And that their rings, the championship rings for the Warriors, it's cold.
Fire. Yeah, that was fire.
Yeah. The fact that them joints opened up,
right to the other little.
You can stuff in some weed. You can stuff in some weed in there.
This guy.
I mean, am I lying?
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm unfamiliar with the context.
I wouldn't implicate that. You know what I'm saying? So
hiding stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can hide your little. They all smoke weed in the NBA. Come on.
I can't say. Allegedly, maybe they do.
I can't say. I've never seen them, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
All the smoke.
Hey, can they like legally do so now, or are they still like not supposed to?
NBA doesn't test for marijuana, so that kind of made it acceptable.
Yeah, but
I always wondered that since the change.
Yeah, but I don't think nobody's coming out saying, "Yeah, I smoke for the game." You know what I'm saying? And it makes me high.
You watch all the smoke. They telling all the evidence now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's previous. You know what I'm saying, guys?
I'm sure they probably keep it on the hush. Don't be telling everybody, business brand wise. Don't be telling folks.
I mean, right. So it's a look still, because brands will still be like, well, we're out of here.
Right.
But so speaking on that, Brittany Griner.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
We talked about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, and it's unfortunate that she's caught up in that situation.
Yeah.
But we talked about earlier, it's basically a political move.
Right.
And it's more than just about her. You know what I'm saying? It's about them trying to get the Death Merchant back. So they figured out a way. They were strategic, and she just happened to be a pawn in the game. So,
it sucks though.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, like I said, political issues, military issues, all of that. Yeah.
It sucks because here in the United States, we all know she would have been fine. But I mean, At the end of the day, though,
why you carrying weed through the airport and you know you're not supposed to?
like so, like I'm just like, girl,
It's
like
international anything. When you go to any other country outside of the United States,
they don't
um,
play with it, and they don't like us.
you probably need
Exactly. That's even more of a reason.
tread lightly, very lightly. It's just like when people go on these cruises and these island trips, and they come back with treats and goodies. I'm like, man, you you set yourself up for a big risk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So hey, tread lightly, tread lightly.
I can't. I couldn't subject myself to the unknown and then the known. Either way, like no, I'm not gonna risk
Right.
it. I'll be all right, you know. Like you would have been okay.
It's a tricky situation, but I think it's all political. So
Yeah,
that's a tough one. Got people on both sides. Military partners who be like, nah, and then you got other folks saying free her, free her. It's a tough situation. So
it's a very unfortunate, tough situation. So
Yep. So let's chop out and go to this next division, this last division of the NBA. We want to talk about is Charlotte,
the
Washington,
weakest division of them all.
Atlanta, and Orlando. Yeah,
Orlando, look,
man, that's a tough one to pick, but I will say
Miami.
I will say this. Orlando, well, yeah, Miami, but I mean, I got to see more of them. Jimmy Butler is the guy for them, of course.
yeah,
But I don't know. I haven't watched any of their games yet, and I do have NBA season tickets, so I will be checking out a lot of their games. I don't see what they have so far this year, so I haven't had a chance to actually watch them. But I do like. I know Orlando's record is terrible so far to start off with, but I do like Pablo. I do like the fella.
Boncaro is that boy built like LeBron.
I
And
wouldn't
that boy can ball.
I wouldn't say that, but he is
6'10", 250, King.
but not everybody got like LeBron like moves that well though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he built like him. He got that build where he could just bully you out the way. I don't know if he play hard ball like that though. I don't know if he's like plays bully ball. So I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. You could be big for nothing.
Yeah, you got to think about it though. LeBron size coming out of high school and being that early, but it wasn't just that size. It was like Zion, his explosiveness.
Right.
And Pablo has explosiveness, but not LeBron.
LeBron explosion, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between like those two guys, maybe similar bodies, because even with you look at LeBron and he's often compared to Karl Malone physically, but Karl Malone didn't have that type of explosiveness. You know what I'm saying? He could get up, but he wasn't jumping, head above the rim, that type of stuff. Like he wasn't that. So,
now Miami played against the Celtics this year. They already played them. So I got a chance to see them. Of course, I get to see them when my Celtics play them and stuff like that. Miami's just a hard-nosed squad. Like they play like Pat Riley has always showed how to play. Play hard, body fat low. You should be able to go. But I think Kyle Lowry isn't what he used to be. So, but the division is so weak. You ain't got a trip really that much. I do like Atlanta adding Murray from San Antonio. I like that because Young is a smaller, type of dude. So him being in that space where he doesn't have to necessarily guard, all the top guards like that. He can kind of spread around. Plus, you got another point guard that can get it done for you and get you easy buckets. Of course, they'll be in the running. But I got Miami running that. And Charlotte, listen. Washington.
Charlotte's got a lot of talent.
We ain't giving them no PT.
I'm like, I was gonna say there's no point. I do think it's gonna be the Atlanta Miami kind of.
Yeah.
I think that's where the eyes are gonna be at. Like there's
also when you talk about Atlanta, you got to say John Collins as well, because John Collins, an amazing young talent. He's a great finisher. He's polished up on his jump shot. So, with him being able to hit that jump shot consistently along with the other pieces that they have coming off the bench,
they got the Hunter kid from Auburn. They just re-signed him to a long-term deal. I like Atlanta. I like John Collins, and the reason why I like John Collins this year to probably take the next step is because they got Murray. Young he's a passer, but he's the shooter on the squad. Murray averaged 10 assists. That boy gonna get you the rock. So I don't know if that was just in Popovich's system he did that, but he showed that he's capable of getting you the rock.
Good ball.
So we'll see. And I like John Collins to be kind of like the X factor for that squad this year. So
I'm leaning on that fence of it might have been Pop's system because it's proven fact that a lot of the guys that leave Pop's system often their stats change either for the better or for the worse because they're outside of that system. And there are such thing as system guys who take them from this system and put them somewhere else under another coach with another system. They either get worse or they get better. So
now DeRozan's a baller. He's stuck with it. He still became he became a better passer, so forth and so on. Yeah, I would hope. I think I would hope Murray can keep that going. But he's never had to play with other superstars, so we'll see. That'll be a big question for him. Can he play with 2-3 other superstars?
That always changes it.
Right. Because you ain't getting as many shots as you was gonna get in SA. So we'll see. We'll see. We got to talk about Atlanta so they can get pressed because they can ball. So we'll see.
They get their factor a little bit. You got to talk about it.
They are. They still ain't gonna beat the Celtics. So it don't matter.
I mean, here's the thing with the Celtics. The Celtics. I mean, you can say this about any team, but the Celtics are one of those teams where they're one injury away from catastrophe. You know what I'm saying?
I would agree.
Like Loki.
Because if one of them boys get hurt, I would agree.
They play so well as a unit. Like you can't remove any piece of that unit and expect to get the same result because it's just not going to happen.
I'm like, who would be the fillers? Like,
that's true. They're building the bench out and getting some guys in there. Robert Williams is out now. Marcus Smart gonna get hurt. I hate to say that, but he's always hurt every year. So we're just gonna see. We're just gonna see. But we ain't gonna put that on my boys this year.
Right? You better knock on some wood. Smart getting hurt next game. You better knock on some wood.
That boy always getting hurt. He be running and doing backflips and doing too much. But hey, we'll
all
see.
over the place. Come on now.
And you know what? I was gonna point out too. I'll say this, and we can move on to the NFL. Udonis Haslem, in his 20th year. This has been the argument that I've seen on so many posts: is he necessary there, or is he just taking up a spot that could be better served? Because they say they got him there for his leadership and his like coaching, but can't you just put him on the coaching staff and open up that roster spot for somebody who can actually help you on the floor?
I would think he would get that preference. One rings there. It's kind of like when Ben Roethlisberger faded, Eli Manning faded. The great QBs. You won us Super Bowls, so you get the respect. Do what you need to do whenever you're ready, however you want. When it's time for you to go on and move on, going on and move out the way. And I think that's kind of the respect you give to a guy like Haslem. Let him do everything on his own terms. You won rings for us, bro. Like,
look, that's what y'all. There's the space y'all need for some building up the bench.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. Go get a suit. Go get some nice suits. You
got the money for it. You good?
And have a seat on the bench as a coach, as a player consultant, or whatever title you want to put it under. We'll continue to pay you, but let us get this other spot so we can have some more youth on our bench so we can bring somebody up to fill these spots because we need to compete. And you're not going to help us. You're not. I mean, on the floor, he's not going to help you.
Your boy literally there been just giving assistance. That's it.
He got on the floor last year, one game. He was in for 12 seconds and got 2 techs and got thrown out of the game.
Oh Lord!
Like, hey man, he's creating the attitude for the squad.
Just buy the suits for him at this point. Gift it to him at the end of the season.
He has turned into what the hockey league used to call a goon, who doesn't really have any real skills. He just an enforcer who old school, kind of like Charles Oakley when he got old.
Yeah.
He couldn't really contribute, but he gonna try to punish some people. And if you need somebody to go take a couple fouls, he's that guy.
He's the guy. Put him out there.
That's it. He's just the bully on the team.
No disrespect to him, because when he was balling. But
Yeah.
20
When
years
your time
that little jump shot, that little mid-range jumper.
20 years in the league, bro. I mean, kudos to you, but it's time to go. Get that spot up, man.
Get that spot up. Okay. I would agree with y'all. I mean, I wouldn't push somebody so valuable out like that. Just do whatever you want to do, man.
I'm not saying push him out. I'm just saying, like, he can still be there. He just don't need to take up a roster spot.
Yeah, like he's got a different value now, so it's a different.
I wonder how much he getting paid though. That would say a lot though.
Now it depending on the price.
You getting $5 million. You're getting $7 million.
As we said, it can open up
a roster spot, bro, because there's so much talent, especially in these like the G League. Like, there's so much talent coming from overseas in the G League, bro. You mean to tell me there's not some young player out there who can't come in and help you more than Udonis has?
That's true.
I would agree. I would agree with that. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Just, the OG can do whatever he want to do. That's like your pops, man. You ain't telling pops what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but I will tell my pops to have a seat. If he
See, I was gonna say, but just tell him like, yo,
look here, pops. I'm gonna need you to sit down somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Time has passed, bro. Time has passed. Well, before we get out of the NBA stuff, I forgot we got some good stuff that Benji sent me. We got the good stuff. Let me throw the first one up. We're gonna run through these. I
don't know what my answers are. Lord.
That's right. That's what we're about to do right now.
I already got my answers. So you got cut one player. You got Embiid. You got Morant. You got Dame. You got PG. You got Harden, and you got Jimmy Buckets.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough.
It ain't tough.
Who you cutting, Patricia? Who you cutting? Who you cutting? Like, you got to cut somebody. You got to let somebody go.
I'm saying no. I'm not gonna say him. I can't say him.
I got my answers already. So
I got mine in my head right now. But I'm gonna
say Embiid.
You cutting Embiid?
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say Harden.
She's wilding.
I know. I am.
You big time wilding. You would keep Embiid. You would keep Harden over Embiid.
I was gonna cut Harden off the jump.
That's my pick.
That's initial in my head. That's what I was like, dang.
But you know who I'm cutting?
Who?
I'm cutting PG. And let me tell you why.
Why?
Now, if it was Indiana PG,
I gotta hear this. Why?
I'm cutting PG because he can't stay healthy. That's it. Out of all 6 of those guys, I would take every last one of them. You know that. I'm cutting PG because the brother can't stay healthy. He hasn't been healthy since Indiana LeBron playoff series. After that, he's been like, can't stay healthy. And that's the only reason why I'm going to cut him. Because other than that, he's a 6'6", 6'7" Kyrie. Like, he's a ball.
He's 6'8".
6'8", one of them.
Don't cut him short.
He is, to me, he's been just as healthy as James Harden. The same amount of time James Harden missed, he's missed. So,
I
is getting the looks because he scores a lot. But to me, if you look at a complete player,
PG, he's a baller.
Prototypical of what you want, a two-way guy who's going to give you buckets, who's got, handles for days, who can score with the best of them, and who's going to lock somebody up.
Yeah, so, and he's efficient. He's a baller. Like, I skill-wise, all of that can't take nothing away from him.
Okay, so that's what we'll base this on. We're not gonna put health into it because
no health.
Because everybody's up and down. It's just based on skill. On skill.
Well, if we go on that route and we're cutting one player, I'm cutting Jimmy B.
Why?
I'm cutting Jimmy B because he can't shoot the 3-ball well enough like I want.
You crazy. You
go look at his numbers. He can't shoot the 3-ball like he is a career 28% 3-point shooter.
I am never going to trade or give up somebody who can still give me 20 25 plus a game and
Yeah.
take the other players and take the other team's best player on than somebody who gonna give me 30 and who gonna get 30 put on him. I'm not gonna trade that.
Let me ask you this though. On that Houston team that almost beat G State with Harden, does that team get by them with Jimmy B? Anybody else on that roster? If you take Harden out the picture and put Jimmy B there, do they beat G State that year? If PG, all of them. Harden in his prime was a monster.
Yes, but the thing of the matter is, what you have to look at with Houston at that point is they were a team that had to outscore their opponent.
Of course. And Harden literally was like almost a triple-double machine. I don't think you can take Jimmy B, put him on that Houston team, and they compete like they did, because you had to compete against Golden State.
But
bro, we talking about Curry, healthy Curry. Them boys were a problem.
But you got to look at Jimmy B plays defense.
Very true.
The whole
exactly, and that's where you want that all around.
Instead of that guy hitting 30, that guy's probably going to have maybe 21, and that could be the difference in the game when you can take this guy on and limit him instead of letting him score 30 and 30 instead of Steph and Clay getting 30.
If old man CP3 didn't get hurt, they would have beat G State. Of course, that's always another story. But me, I ain't cutting Harden, bro. I'm sorry, I can't do it. If you giving me MVP Harden,
but no, see, you giving all these facts. He's not MVP Harden.
He's old now.
Exactly.
But I'm cutting PG. I'm getting rid of PG.
That's what I'm saying. That's even crazier. That's even crazier. Because PG right now, this PG right now is better than Harden right now.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, Harden is 34.
Oh.
He's older. So, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
For me, and that's why it was just the respect. I'm like, damn, Harden. But that was first on my mind. Harden getting old. Harden not the same. Harden, right. That's the main factor anywhere. You're not the same, and you're slowly just dipping down.
Right.
Yep. So I think that's an interesting pick. Okay,
that's an interesting one. That's interesting. Next one. I like that one.
You got some of the same.
See, he was in the Nets jersey too, so that's a different story.
All right. So this one is a little bit more difficult because, like I said, we're looking at skill sets here. So out of this group, this is tough.
Ooh.
But I already know who I'm cutting.
Okay, Ken, I think you got to lead this one because I don't know who I'm cutting on this one.
Ooh.
Okay, so for me, again, I'm a ball player to the core. So I want a guy who's going to be able to give me offense and defense. Everybody on this team, everybody on this screen can give you offense, and only 5 can give you defense.
But that's very true.
So that's where the cut comes for me.
You cutting Trae Young?
Trae can't stop anybody. Trae cannot stop anybody, bro. Like, again, any team he's on, you're going
he's a liability.
Score the other guys because if you're going matchup for matchup, he's just gonna have to outscore his matchup. And a lot of times he will, but if you have anybody that's guarding him that can limit him or stop him, Atlanta's gonna struggle. Period.
You know who I'm gonna cut? I'm gonna cut Karl Anthony Towns. The reason I'm gonna cut Karl Anthony Towns is I like what Barkley said. They just don't play smart basketball. I would take Trae's liability on defense for his offense because I can make up for it, but I can't make up for you making dumb plays all game. Bad fouls.
You're talking about individuals, though. You keep saying they. That's
yes. I gotta cut Towns. I gotta cut him. That's
he gives you everything.
That's who I would cut.
He gives you everything you look for in a basketball player.
He does. He's a great franchise guy, so to speak. Seems very, very, very well mannered. Can rebound. Can score the ball. Can shoot the 3.
So why
He gives it all to me, but then
Benji's not making sense.
so for me, I'm going.
I can't.
Young as
His
well.
basketball IQ be killing me sometimes when I watch him. Okay, Patricia, who you cutting?
I mean, young because I like. So, like he said, you're speaking to like teams, and you're speaking to like, which I get all that. You at the end of the day, the bigger picture is the team, but individual player wise, you are gonna want somebody, even like when we were just talking about Harden and them, like that's all around balanced player.
Right.
So you need somebody that not only gonna get the points, but can you stop? Can you, like I'm cutting young.
Cutting Trae Young. Man, y'all out on Trae. Not
I
y'all
like him
out
though.
on ice. Y'all out on ice, Trae?
He a little soft to me.
In the garden? Y'all out on Trae?
Yeah.
I love his bravado. I love all of that. If you could go to New York and do that crowd like that, you win with me. So, and I get his defense is a liability. I get it. I get it. But I'm still cutting, and I almost cut AD. So, but I couldn't look at AD and keep Karl Anthony Towns. I was like, yeah, I'll cut Big Cat. So.
Yeah, I get that, but no, still at the end of the day, no.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, it's all right. It's all right. Cat, you got it. I'm sorry, bro. We giving you your walking papers, bro. I'm sorry. You're gonna ball out. You're still gonna ball out wherever you go. You know what I'm saying? But I'm taking Trae over you, man. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a hard conversation to have. I'm gonna need Patricia there to help me out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he can. Patricia tell him he cut. You know what I'm
just
saying?
like
okay, it ain't. I ain't gonna say it nice.
Just like Scooby-Doo. Just like Scooby-Doo. Next time you see the New York Knicks GM and you take his mask off, Benji gonna be under that thing because he definitely picking the talent there.
Facts. Just listen. We're gonna take this talent at this point in time. Because if that's my starting five, AD, Tatum, Booker, and whoever was up, and PG. All right.
That's only because the other four guys can play defense really well.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I agree. I'll be like a modern day GM and take the liability because Trae can pull up from anywhere.
Take that hit. Like, okay, I got all of these other ones could be up. So okay, we'll let little soft man over here be in there. I get it. I promise you, he just seems real soft to me. Like
yeah, I would agree. The light skinned brothers, you know what I'm saying?
It ain't even got nothing to do with no light skin.
He just plays. He a little soft.
Yeah, it just is what it is. But okay, let's hop to the next one. This one is a little different.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so we got Brooklyn Harden.
Yeah.
PG is on all of these. I just noticed that.
Yeah. You got Brooklyn Harden. Ooh-wee.
Dang. Okay, so I already know where y'all going though. Y'all cutting Harden, aren't you?
Facts. I'm cutting Harden. Facts.
You cutting Harden
immediately.
You know what?
Why? I'm sorry, Harden, but
they cutting Harden like a mug. I can't believe y'all. Okay, Brooklyn Harden.
Fact.
Yeah. Okay. That's tough, man.
It's not that tough.
Nah,
it's not.
It's not. It's not even close.
Okay. I on this one, y'all win.
Hey, we a team now.
On this one, I'm with y'all. I'm cutting Harden because Brooklyn Harden was trash. He wasn't healthy.
Yeah, he had this.
He was Biggie Smalls. You know, he liked to hang out at the strip clubs all the time. I'm in love with a stripper. So he was. I mean, y'all win on this one, so y'all don't get a lot of debate from me on this one. We cutting Harden, so we mutually agree Harden is gone.
Harden out of there. Okay. All right, we got one last one. Let's pop this one up. So Harden is not on here, but PG.
Oh, okay. Well, this one is easier for me. I'll say that.
Okay,
this one is easy for me.
What you got?
I'm cutting Trae Young.
Facts.
I'm cutting Trae.
I was about to say, let Benji go first.
I'm cutting Trae on this one.
I was worried for a minute.
Because I mean, Ja, the boy's a beast. He give you everything you need.
Cold. Like he's cold.
That boy bad.
That's my
Only
favorite.
thing I worry about him is his body holding up with that skinny frame. That's it.
He got a little big head too on that frame.
Yeah.
Well, Iverson made it a long time in a more physical league, so he'll be fine.
I would agree.
That's true.
But the torque on that boy, the torque on him reminds me of D Rose.
Yeah, but he doesn't have D Rose's knees, So
I would hope he did. But he's been injured 2 years in a row. So we'll see. At critical points. So that's the only question I had. Trey has been, there. But we all can agree. Trey Young gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I'll say this before we move on is the thing with Trey Young's game is it will translate for him better as he ages, right? Because no matter how old he gets, he's still going to be able to play that way.
Right. He can still shoot. He can still shoot in the corner. He doesn't have to pull up from half court. He can go hang out in the corner.
Yeah, he's not an explosive guy. Like he doesn't play built on his athleticism.
Right.
Everything his is predicated on his IQ and his shooting.
Right.
So, for him, he'll be able to play a lot longer than some of these other guys who are more athletic because that's what they depend on.
Yeah, their athleticism.
Yeah, unless they make those adjustments, kind of like Vince Carter did, where he was able to adjust, even though he was still crazy athletic.
Right.
And you're 21, 22, still dunking and still taking off on people, but he didn't have to depend on that because he developed his jumper more where he could play, a little bit more mid-range and do a little bit more without always going to the cup. So
I'd agree. Trey Young, you up out of there, dog. Patricia, can you give him his walking papers, please? Can you let him know what you gonna say?
You done.
That's it.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Look, I'm sorry.
You're done. All right.
So let's move on to the NFL.
Let's do it.
Because we're smack dab in the middle of the NFL season. So this is a good time to kind of look at these divisions and give our opinions. But before we dive into the NFL right quick, Benji sent me one thing that we just wanted to take a look at and shine the light on right quick. And that's this game that'll be going on this week in College Game Day. We're actually in Jackson, Mississippi, for the Southern and Jackson State game. And this is a big game because both teams are really good, really good football right now. And of course, they're HBCU, so that's another big thing for HBCU to be on College Game Day.
Yes,
and you already know anytime the GOAT cornerback of them all time, Deion Sanders, is involved with it, it's a big production. So, so you already know it's gonna be huge, and I'm gonna be trying to be tuned into it as much as possible because I want to see, like the world's reaction to an HBCU being put on that platform.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be really.
I'll be at the spa, but
I wish I could go. I wish I would have made plans to actually be at that game. I admit I gotta catch up a little bit more on some of the HBCU games. I know sometimes they have them in Vegas, which is close. But just shout out to Prime, man. Like everything the dude touch turns to gold.
Yeah.
And I know this is huge when, like Ken said, Ken, you're an HBCU grad. And I know there's a lot of folks that watch us that are HBCU grads. So I know this is huge because that's like representation for Negroes worldwide, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. And a lot of people, they've been going back and forth over the past couple of weeks saying, he wasn't SWAC and they had the whole thing going on. But the thing of the matter is he may not have come from a SWAC school or HBCU, but what he is doing, knowing that he didn't come from that, coming back to that and being able to propel that, and not only doing that, but bringing his children to that school to make sure that all of the success happens there and that he's personally invested in it.
Yep.
It's all amazing for him to do that because he didn't have to do that at all.
Right.
Right.
It just seems like he understands the dynamic, man. Like he can transition from this space to that space to that space and make it all successful. And of course, he can talk a rock off a cliff, so that makes it extra good. But he's got the talent and the go to get it done. And for this to be on College Game Day, man, I want to see what I would want to see first. Are folks going to support, which I believe they will. I hope the
Oh
stadium
yeah.
is packed out.
Oh
I
yeah.
know it will.
We show up, but we
And
show out.
how the viewership of that game, because numbers talk, and we need those numbers for this game. So that's what I want to see.
I think it's already sold out.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we show up, we show out. We
Right.
we do that.
I think the game's already sold out. And last week there was Jackson State's homecoming, and you had celebrities out like Snoop and Rick Ross. So there's a lot of celebrity, star power behind it as well. So I don't think they'll have any issue with
Right.
people tuning in to view. Will it have the numbers of Alabama or anything like that? I'm not sure, but
that is my hope for this game. That I know it's far fetched, but that is what I want to see. I want to see those numbers reach that status, because ultimately that's we should be supporting that. I'm going to watch the game.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's as far fetched as it would have been like years ago. So I think it's, we have the ability to do some numbers, some great numbers.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how it turns out.
And I think what people have to realize is what Deion has been bringing to Jackson State and how it has benefited all of the HBCUs has been huge, along with the movement that was already kind of bubbling before he got to Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
And with him coming along, it just bolstered that. And it, took it to a whole new level, which is basically a higher national level.
Right.
It's a lot of people that are starting to take notice and become involved, in HBCUs. And you have some of these celebrities who are actually attending HBCUs and going back to school because they want that experience. And like I've told people countless times, there's no experience like it. So if you're to HBCU, even just for homecoming, or if you attended the schools, even if you didn't finish, even if you went for like a semester, like you can tell the difference between the HBCU and any other school that you go to. The environment is just totally different.
I just was telling my son that earlier, talking about it, like, because one of our family members goes, she's out in Texas, and he was just talking about HBCUs, and I was like, it's different. It's not, because he was like, it's just the frats doing like, their little. I was like, no. Oh no, like it is not. It is beyond that. Like
I'm going to live vicariously through my son. My son wants to go to Howard University. Of course, when I mentioned that, a few of my lady friends was like, why don't you send him to FAMU? Why don't you do it? So I'm going to live vicariously through him. So he wants to go to Howard. So I want to see him kind of get that HBCU experience, which I never got, which I've always wanted. So that's why this year I want to make it a habit of going to actually some of the games. If I can catch Battle of the Bands and stuff like that out in Vegas, I want to do that this year.
I want to go to Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, I know that's crazy. I already know it is. Just from watching TV shows and watching stuff, it's lit.
Let's
so you got to be
session at Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, see, look at that. See, that's what I'm talking about. I like the way you think, good.
I know y'all are definitely enjoy it. There's always a monumentous occasion when you have an HBCU game, and it's always a show. So, luckily for America, they will get a chance to have a glimpse at what we see all the time, which is greatness, which is great.
Dope. That's dope. Shout out. Now, who's gonna win that game?
That's gonna be a tough game, man.
It's gonna be a good game, but I'm gonna just say we're just gonna throw it out there. We're gonna come back and talk about this, but I'm gonna say Jackson.
Jackson has the most talent by far,
right?
But Southern is playing really good right now, and they're clicking. So it's not going to be a cakewalk for Deion. So I'm picking Jackson State, but it's definitely
like games like that though.
I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna pick Southern.
Of course,
just to be on the opposite end.
But you know what? We have another monumentous moment in the life of football, don't we, Benji? Don't
Yes,
we?
we do.
And Felicia is in the comments anywhere. If you are listening, don't we have a
Hold
nice
on, hold
moment?
on, hold on. Before we get to that one, before we get to that,
Yes, we do.
we definitely have to talk about that. But while we're talking about greatness, we have to talk about this other topic right quick before we get to that one.
Okay.
So we want to talk about this man right here.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
12. I should have stayed retired, changed my mind. What is going on?
you know what's going on. You know what's going on.
You know what's going on.
You know what's going on.
I thought at the beginning, I thought maybe it was just, TB12 playing a social media game, so to speak, or whatever. I thought maybe, it was just for some social media hype, the divorce, the this, all of that type of stuff, right? Because that seemed like that was kind of the narrative he had been playing. I'm going to retire. He just kind of. And then when that happened, I was like, yeah, but them boys don't look good, man. And he looked frustrated as hell. I've never seen Tom Brady that frustrated.
Tom Brady is going through a lot on and off the field.
Yes.
He tried to mask at first and tried to, at first that when people win kind of got, that she wasn't happy and like stuff was going on, then they tried to but then it's
down, yeah.
Now here's the divorce and now here's the, and he ain't playing well because home ain't well.
Yep.
TB12 ain't got no peace no matter where he's at right now.
I would agree. And that to me would be like, bro, just go home.
But
just go home.
Game. And then he comes out and he's got this whole thing. I'm never leaving. I love the game or whatever. It's just you hurting and all these other things is going on. You don't know how to navigate what the heck is going on with you right now.
Like, is he just being too stubborn right now, Patricia? What's going on? What you see from a woman's perspective?
I don't think he's washed up. I don't think so.
Right.
He's got too much going on and he don't know how to navigate it.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's a therapist or whatever it is he needs someone to help him separate the two, deal with the two so that he could be mentally strong back on the field. He's just not mentally fit. Brady's got it. He just ain't got it right now.
Right. Yeah. I would totally agree. But this is the one case. Well, there's few, but I'm just gonna say it for sure. This is the one time when I've seen where I was like, that brother need his wife.
He does, but
that brother need his woman. Period. Football, whatever. I know that's your purpose. I know that's your thing, bro. You need your girl by your side. Period.
To me, it might be the kids, because if you're used to going home, and even if you don't get along with your wife at that point, going home and being able to see your kids every day, sometimes that's a big part of, your peace. Mm-hmm. And now that you're not go home to that, it's not even just his wife, it's the kids, I think, is the biggest thing. And that's part of his peace. And that's kind of where you put your energy into. So I think that's also a big part of him not having a quote unquote happy home to go home to. And the kids, being affected is the biggest part of that. And
that'll mess you up. I've been there before.
Whatever his peace is, he lost it at home right now. It's out of whack. Let's just say that. It's all over the place. Agreed. Whether it's the kids, whether it's the wife, whether it's both.
Whether it's Antonio Brown posted that picture.
Yeah. And Antonio Brown trolling him like crazy right now.
I can't stand him right now. Like, I really can't.
He's really on it.
With his wife, right after you took right after you had the video of you in the pool naked, like all right. The same time, giving that man visuals in his head.
It ain't helping him.
You see the book you see the book he posted with Tom Brady's face on it. Daddy's not home anymore.
Right. I didn't see him post it. I saw it get posted, but I didn't see him post. So he posted that.
For what I understand, yeah, he's the one who trolled with the book. I don't know if he put Tom Brady's face in it. I'm sure he had his team do it or whatever, however that goes, whatever, right? It was posted on his Twitter. So somebody posted it, whether it be him or whatever, but it was posted on his Twitter.
Wild. Super wild. But hey, he's a super gremlin. So what do you expect?
He's like he's wild.
He's on one. Put that shit on.
Hey, you know what? We made fun of that song when he first made it and put it out, but that song kind of took off and people really started to gravitate.
It's actually pretty good. It ain't saying much.
Benji be at home. Benji be at home getting dressed. You know what I'm saying?
I can't be mad. I can't be mad at it. Now, see, I was one of the dudes. I know we sidestepped a little. I was one of the dudes that actually defended AB. I know he went and did his little wild thing, but I kind of understand where he comes from in a lot of spaces because people have a tendency to say things about you without knowing all the facts, and he doesn't seem like the type of guy that knows how to articulate it well. And he just speaks out with emotion, and sometimes that doesn't get translated well. So when he started talking about the racism and all of that, I was like, bro, like I kind of believe him because he dealt with the same thing with Gruden. And so then when the story came out about what was going on, what took place, and then they had the interview on Pivot, I'm like, oh, y'all just mad because your boy don't know how to articulate, but he was busting y'all ass and y'all didn't like that.
I was behind him but he a troll. Wow. Like at some points I'll be like, all right.
He goes in, and I ain't mad at him, especially since he dropped that song. Now I ain't watched the whole video with him in the pool. I ain't watching no niggas like that.
I was scroll. Let me here he go again.
Man, just wilding out.
I ain't watching no niggas like that. I like Virginians only. That's it.
Yeah, but you ain't gotta, like I tell people all the time, when you see stuff like that, especially with us doing media type stuff, like when somebody's talking about Antonio Brown, like you go to whatever the article is or whatever. So it's not like they're looking for that.
Right. You're getting
like this dude is wilding. But
the knowledge of
boy, big wilding.
You just didn't have to press play.
Yes, I haven't play on it yet.
But all right, so let's get to this interesting thing before we hop into the divisions of the NFL. We had somebody come out the closet. We had somebody come out the closet, and I've been pointing this out. I have to go on record. If you go back and look at many episodes we talked about sports, I have told you all countless times that this man, Benji, was a 49ers fan from the beginning, and he has never stopped. He had just got mad at them, and then he kind of,
my stubbornness can get the best of me at times.
Yeah, so he kind of went the orphan route, but he's back, and he's actually with the Niner gang. Bang bang.
Now, Ken, you know this because, like I said, I got receipts. I can confirm this. I've actually been a 49er fan since I was a youngin'.
No, you're
and you say, well, how would you know? Because my only blood brother can testify. He knows what's up. So when we did our show, Ken found out some pertinent information about your boy. Because I don't let everybody in my life like that. I like for people to speculate. So I let them speculate on pretty much everything. And then, bro, like, can you tell them, bro? Like I've been doing this forever. So we've been 49er fans. I've been there since the days of Joe Montana, Roger Craig, Ronnie Lott. We could go on and on and on, right? Deion Sanders. I was there when the beef was going on because we used to sit in the house and watch the games, Cowboys, 49ers, and everybody in the house was pretty much 49er fans except for me and my two cousins. So we would watch the games, and I remember the battles between Deion and Michael Irvin and that whole thing. And we finally got over the hump that year. And that was precious to me. So, but we've been riding. I just didn't appreciate the way they did my boy Kaepernick. So I left him all alone. I was like,
I'm not even gonna lie. That to this day, it's crazy. He's not picked up by nobody. And he was putting in the work to try to be, and I just knew before this season somebody was gonna
pick him up. And they was lying, talking about he wasn't good enough to be an NFL quarterback. Look at the NFL quarterbacks now. Right. They are all what Kaepernick was.
That's what I was like. Cap is and was and should be.
Right. So that's a whole other situation. I was pissed at that.
I
pissed at the whole NFL. So I left them all alone.
I respect you for that one.
Okay.
See.
But I have a question. Benji. When's the last time San Francisco won a championship?
I mean, it's been a while, bro.
No. Give me specifics.
Well, I the last one was the Broncos. Steve Young. They beat the Broncos. I can't remember what year that was.
How many years ago was that?
That's been quite a while.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I'm gonna give you about 15 years.
No, sir. No, sir.
How long has it been?
Let's see. Wikipedia here says
I'm done.
22.
They won the Super Bowl in 81, 84, 88, 89,
Joe Montana era.
and 94.
94. Okay, so yeah.
No,
it's been a minute.
Hold on. So if I'm correct, the Dallas Cowboys won a Super Bowl more recently than your 49ers, correct?
Very true. Very true. And I can't deny facts.
Hold on. So with that being said, the slander of the Cowboys, your 49ers deserve every bit of the same slander because they have not won a Super Bowl. And I continuously tell people this. You play to win a Super Bowl.
Yes, I would agree.
Success you have, if you do not win a Super Bowl, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
If I'm being debatable,
go ahead.
Our boys did go to the Super Bowl recently. And if it wasn't for Jimmy Garoppolo overthrowing the ball.
Jimmy G's your problem a lot sometimes.
Well, here's the dopest part about that, though. That brother took a pay cut. He's getting like $6 million this year, somewhere around there, incentivized deal. So he could get more. But it leads me to believe that the 49ers are working on something else at quarterback. Now, I know they got Trey Lance. I hate that they gave up all those picks for him. But this is just my thought. I believe they want Aaron Rodgers. I believe that they want Tom Brady. And I think that's the only thing that they're missing. And I think they'll be right back in the fold.
Brady at the Niners?
From reports, that's where he wanted to go. He wanted to go to a Cali team. He wanted to go to a Sunshine State. So, according to, some of the reports that came out, don't know if it's factual or not, but, speculation. That's the world we live in.
And what's his contract right now?
The Niners, if you look at their squad, they aren't far off from really, really, really winning a ring.
There's a lot of teams that aren't far off, but did they win a ring?
No, they didn't. They didn't. Okay. They sitting on the couch just like we are watching the game. But
that's what I'm getting.
I would rather be close than far away. I would rather be close in the bosom of Jesus than to be way back there.
Well, when you put it in that context, I would rather not even go over to girl house if I ain't smashing.
Right, because why do you want to be, first of all,
hold on. If she brings me peace.
Jesus, like, first of all, in the bosom of Jesus.
Yes, close, girl, just to be close to you.
I'm going to need you not to say the bosom of Jesus.
Yeah, it's like close.
No,
girl.
I know where, but.
Close, girl. Close. Okay, yeah. I put it to you like this because Ken said, if I ain't smashing, I ain't going over. See, there's a difference when she brings you peace, Tom Brady. You just want to be with her.
No. In this scenario, when you go over there, you're going to smash. And
this is competitive. This is competition.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're going to smash. If you're not going to smash, then what are you doing?
Listen,
they train for.
I'm a patient animal. I'm a different breed. I'm patient. Yeah. See, if you come over my crib, I go over your crib, whichever one, you know what I'm saying? And we have a banging time, you know what I'm saying? We chilling, we vibing. We done ate some good food. We done drunk some good wine. We done had some good strawberry cheesecake or whatever you prefer, you know what I'm saying? Reese's, whatever you like, boom. And we vibe out. And I'll be like, you know what? We had an amazing time. You know what I'm talking about? For me leaving and not knowing that, I just didn't want sex from you, it's going to make you want me more. So,
you're willing to go all 4 seasons before you get a bite of that cake, is what I'm understanding.
Patience is a virtue, darling.
Yes, very patient.
But what happens if you take a bite out of that cake and learn that you should have traded a long time ago?
But see, there's the point. That's why I ain't rushing trying to get it.
Hold on, but he missing the point though. What I'm saying is, see, he taking it a whole nother direction, and he's trying to avert the point that I'm making here. he's just as patient, if not more patient than I am, because just to say, when they say, well, the Super Bowl, Cowboys, oh, I mean, they rings is dusty. Well, the 49ers rings are just as dusty.
They are. They just as dusty,
they're
okay?
dustier, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when the 49ers talk, when Washington Redskins fans talk, I'm like, y'all are just
you got to call them the
the Commanders.
Commanders now.
There we go.
So for me, like I said, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm realistic. Are we going to win every year? No. Are we going to be competitive? Yes, we're going to be competitive every year. Just about.
Right.
You look at our history. We've been competitive a whole lot more than we've not been competitive.
That's true.
I'm not even worried about that, but it's the fact of a lot of other people want to point out the Cowboys and everything that they do, and we're the butt of every joke when these other teams are just as, you know what I'm saying, irrelevant in the sense of winning Super Bowls as we are. But I'll add that that's the reason why we have been coined America's team for so long, because everybody cares. Everybody cares what the Cowboys.
Everybody cares. We like to mess with y'all because y'all just picking material. It's like me and Patricia messing with ugly people. It's just too much material there. It's just and then they ain't got no comeback on us because
we got plenty of comeback. But here's the problem. You compared us to ugly people, but it's actually quite the opposite. It's actually the beautiful people who people expect a lot from that people pick at because they can't achieve those heights. And that's what true. Fans are. They can't achieve the heights that the Cowboy achieved 20 or 30 years ago, and they team been around longer than the Cowboys.
Been around for a long time.
They still haven't got there. So what's the excuse, right? Y'all done had 25 plus years to get rings, and some of these teams still don't have one.
Still can get it.
Who are the teams right now that doesn't have not one?
It's quite a few. I had it on another episode.
The Jets got one. Carolina doesn't.
There's a lot of teams that don't have one. Trust me.
The Colts do. They Johnny Unitas years.
Nope, Peyton won one, didn't he?
Yes, he did. No, not with he didn't win with the Colts. He won with the Broncos, didn't he?
So Browns, Lions, Texans, Jaguars. They all don't have rings, right?
They're new. They're newer teams, kind of like newer. So yeah.
Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Bengals won one with Boomer Esiason. Maybe I'm wrong. No, they lost to the 49ers.
Falcons, Panthers, Cardinals.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Hold on.
It
isn't any of our teams.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Well, your Eagles finally got one. So
I mean, but hey, we still current. We more current with ours.
Well, they're more current, but at the same time, they only got one.
I know, but let us have one.
Listen, we can
right
give you
now this year. Right now,
we can give you a ring pop on the little finger.
That's okay because guess what? We fighting right now.
Okay, all right. I like your team. I like your team this year.
I'll get to y'all, but I gotta say this: the Eagles put up a statue of the quarterback that won them. They won Super Bowl, and this is the first time I've ever heard anything like this. They put up a statue of this man, and he got ghosts. Like I'm like, this is not going over well.
Yeah,
but I will say that the current composed team that the Eagles have, to be honest with you, I knew this before the season started that they would be a very good team.
Yeah, we're looking good this season. Yeah, and I like it.
Their success, I'm not surprised at it. But here's the thing: we're halfway through the season. A lot of these teams have seen film on Hurts. They see what the Eagles are doing.
Yes,
half of the season is key because teams start to watch that film.
They start picking up on your trends, your go-tos,
make those.
And I know that. So when we see you again, I know it's about to be a good.
It's gonna be going down. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
So it's like you said, they're gonna roll that tape back. They're learning Hurts. It's gonna be the second half. It's gonna be some good weeks.
It's gonna be a matter of who stays healthy. Because I like the Giants are playing pretty good, so the division actually is tougher this year.
And so it is. So I'm very interested in those games for sure.
Okay, so let's hop into these divisions so we can get that knocked out. Boom. So we'll start with this division. We got the Vikings. They rolling right now. the Packers
Yeah.
and the Bears and the Lions. This division, like I said, I mean, it's hard to go against Aaron Rodgers when it comes down to it. But the Vikings look like they're the team to beat out of the NFC.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, a few years ago, for sure, I would say that. But Rodgers, he's still good, but
They don't look good. Their
he don't-
defense
yeah,
actually
he's
is
not looking good.
better than the league.
He's not that person that you be like, oh, you got to go up against Rodgers. Like you don't say that no more, really.
Well,
Because they ain't got those killer wide receivers.
That's what I was just going to say. I don't even think it's Rodgers. I think it's just his weapons have diminished, and they don't got the pieces they used to have. So I think
they invested a lot in the defense, and I'm surprised that their defense. They let go of Ladarius Smith. They let go of some guys. And I'm surprised. I thought their defense would be much better. They are. I was surprised to find out that they are 7th in defense this year. So they actually haven't given up more than 16, 17 points this year. But Packers still going to win the division. Listen, I like the Vikings. I've always liked them. Yeah. But the one thing that makes me scared of them is Kirk Cousins. Simply put. I just can't.
I think Vikings going to win that division. But I think Kirk Cousins' issue is usually not in the regular season; it's the playoffs.
Exactly.
So I think in the playoffs he might fold. But I think the regular season, just looking at their schedule, I think they're probably going to win that division because right now, I mean, just looking at the rest of their schedule, I don't see Green Bay, you know what I'm saying, making up that ground in Chicago.
I don't see it either. I really don't.
They got that extra playoff spot this year, right? Like the extra team gets in.
But you're
so somebody's going to slip in that you ain't really too excited about. So
but they're not going to wipe out they're just going to show up and fall off.
Right. Yeah. We'll see. I want to say the Vikings got a squad, but they've had a squad even when Mike Zimmer was there. Yeah, like that team hasn't really been transformed much. They've always had Cook, good running back. They've had a decent O-line.
But with all those weapons they have, I think they're still the team to beat.
I think
I would agree.
They finally have a cohesive game they're running though now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's a matter of have and have nots. They have it. They just now know what they're doing with it.
Yep.
We're going to see.
Yep. So let's pop on to the next one. Boom. All right. Seahawks. Cardinals. So this
I expect the Seahawks to fall off.
I do too.
I expect them to fall off.
This is a nice little of the they're kind of all like messing up and not, but
of course you know who I'm rolling with.
I got, you know what?
Cardinals got Hopkins back, so let's see how actually Kyler Murray plays. That's an interesting division. Rams aren't the same. Their O-line is trash.
And it's sickening.
Their O-line is trash. Like they can't.
Maybe their bye week and their second half might be different. So I'm gonna run with the Rams. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm going with their defense.
I'm going with the Rams because
it's gonna be the difference maker.
And that's only gonna they gonna have to hold on to that.
Right.
But
they need to add a decent running back. They were pissed that they didn't get CMC.
Yeah, they were.
Christian McCaffrey.
They were, and if they would have got him, but
if I'm the 49ers, I have to outbid you. I can't let you go to the Rams. Not in our division. I have to outbid you. So I get it. Seeing the lead. I don't think anybody's really worried about the Seahawks. I know their defense is actually playing pretty good. But I don't think anybody looks at Geno Smith and thinks he's going to lead them.
But hold on
to the promised land.
I got a question for you. So the 49ers picked up, they got all this talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
What the heck happened to them Sunday, bro? With all this talent they had on the field, because they came out looking like, oh my God. Okay.
I think Kansas City is a monster, man. I think them getting rid of Tyreek Hill, everybody was so focused on that. People forget Andy Reid let go of T.O. when he was in Philly. And they still, the next year, with some kind of unknown talent, and I forget the dude's name. He's, Freddie something. He used to wear the mink coats and stuff. He was a wide receiver. Andy Reid knows how to run an offense, man. Like he's been surgical with it for years.
Well, you got
So he added some people, man, that kind of spreads the field a little bit more than what just Tyreek Hill would do. And then they're talking about getting OBJ, and I think they're just actually better this year,
I think
believe it or not. And they're flying under the radar, so to speak. And people aren't really talking about them because they ain't got. Tell me one hype player that they got besides Mahomes that you really be like, that boy's a beast.
well, they don't have hype players, but I think they got solid guys like
they do.
Schuster. They got Smith,
Right.
wide receiver. So when you lose Hill, but you got another guy who was, quite honestly, a star for Pittsburgh.
Right.
For Pittsburgh, and you bring him in, and don't they still have Sammy Watkins?
No, he's gone. He went out. So their receiving core is they got the kid from Georgia. I'm forgetting his name, the speedster.
Okay.
They got the kid from Green Bay. Gosh, I'm forgetting his name.
Yeah.
He was actually Valdez Scantling. That's his name.
Still have some solid.
Yes. And then they got Kelsey at tight end, but they actually got their O-line together. And that to me is the biggest difference. Now all they need, really, if you ask me, they need Hilaire. I thought would be much better coming out of LSU, and then they got the McKinnon or the Mickelson kid at running back. To me, all they really need is a running back to add to that team, and they'll be off the charts. So maybe they'll go back and get Kareem Hunt since Cleveland is trying to let him go.
So if OBJ comes out, how y'all feeling about that choice?
Who if he goes to KC?
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, you see what he did with the quarterback for the Rams.
Yeah.
It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be an interesting spin when that happens. If he's coming back in with the way he intends to, so I can't wait to see what happens there.
Kelsey on his podcast said he restructured his contract for that very purpose.
Yeah.
So if OBJ comes in and he's healthy,
he's gonna be healthy. He's 100% healthy.
I've been watching like he's doing everything that he needs to do to make sure, and he took the time to not like rush and
come back.
I'm good. He took the time, so I think he's coming back nice.
Yep.
If he comes back to that squad, man, that's a good piece.
Yeah.
So. But again, KC's flying under the radar. So,
they are. I mean, I like Mahomes, like for sure.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes, yeah, that's a bad man. That's a bad man. All right,
so let's hop on this next one. Let's hop on this next division real quick. Woo!
Commanders could fall off. We ain't talking about them.
Well, they already fell off. So, I mean,
they're in the struggle. They're in the struggle bus. Yeah. This is interesting to me, though. The Giants are actually playing really good this year. Daniel Jones is playing pretty good.
These are the good games right here.
But I also think if you look at the Giants' schedule, the first part of the season, they benefited from that.
Yeah.
So I want to see how the second half of their season looks. You know, when they actually have to buckle down and play, you know what I'm saying? So the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Yeah, they gotta play us. Yeah,
like they got
division games. Yeah,
they got some big games, so they gotta look at that. So we'll see what that looks like there. But I think the top two teams is gonna be at the end of the season. It's gonna be between Dallas and it's gonna be between Dallas and Philly. So
and the Cowboys added Hankins today to
so they got another run stopper. They got
to be at defensive tackle. I thought that was huge because the talk was that they needed a middle linebacker because you can run the ball on him. But you get Hankins in the middle, who's considered that boy 340, 6'4", 340. That's a big old boy. And he used to play for the Giants. So the Cowboys are familiar with him, so they know what he can do. So if they can get the run stop, Cowboys defense is really good though. I'm impressed with their defense. Even though the Eagles kind of did their thing against them, I was surprised that they didn't fold after halftime. And I sent this to Ken. I was like, let's see how it looks after, because they played bad. I was like, let's see how they look at halftime.
But see, my thing is, and me and Ken, you know, what we were talking about is, it was a cool game, but we also played without their, QB1. So we're gonna play now. Then this
Right.
Christmas game is about to be something different.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna
y'all left tackle left that game too, Patricia. So
Mhm.
that kind of changed it up a little bit too.
well,
Yeah,
the left tackle left, but the game was kind of already, you know what
it
I'm saying?
still
Like,
was the same. Yeah,
Right.
because at the beginning of the game, they had a lot of success. So we were already in the hole when he went out. So when he went out, we were able to cover some ground to try to come back in the game.
yeah.
Like I said,
It kind of made us shaking our boots a little bit, but
well, see,
hey,
here's the thing: without Dak, you don't have a downfield threat because Cooper Rush is not going to throw down the field a lot. Like
yeah,
Dak will
Right.
come in the game, and you know what I'm saying, be able to kind of force the comeback and be kind of able to threaten down the field. So you know, you take that away. But like I said again, it's going to be a dogfight between those two teams. The
it
next
is.
time they play Christmas Eve, that's going to be a huge game, and
Mhm.
trust me, at that point of the year, it's going to mean a lot, and it might be for the division. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So it's I'm looking forward to seeing that. So we already know what that division looks like. So
Right.
we'll move on to the next one. Boom. All right. This
well,
is
The Buccaneers are in such a bad division.
if TB12, wait, isn't he? Yeah, he. Mm-mm.
this is surprising though. The Saints. The Saints is really surprising to me.
It is, but they've been hurt. They've been injured like crazy though.
Yeah.
Winston was hurt. Andy Dalton had to be the starter. Yeah, they've been hurt. Thomas and Winston don't look like they're on lock. You know what I mean? He's the top wide receiver.
So with
What's
Winston,
called what's the running back name? I'm forgetting his name.
uh,
For the Saints.
yeah,
He's on
41.
my fantasy team, but I'm forgetting his name. But y'all know who I'm talking about.
I forgot.
He don't look normal.
He
So
don't look normal.
Well, here's my thing. I think Winston is injury prone. Let's just say that.
yeah,
Because the past few seasons, it seems like every season he's getting injured.
right.
So I don't know if it's the line or if it's the way he plays, but he can't seem to stay healthy. So
He holds the ball too long for one. This is the problem when he left Tampa Bay. This is what they said about him. He holds the ball too long, but he's a deep ball thrower. So he's always and so that Saints system was a deep ball. Remember, Drew Brees was there, and it wasn't total deep ball all the time because Drew Brees' arm started to leave him. Those short passes and those plays that Winston has to read quick and do that, like he's not great at that. He can do it, but he's not great at it. He's more of a deep ball threat.
he looks for the home run.
Yeah. And it's just not clicking in that system because they used to, and they got a good defense too. So for them to be trash this year, it's kind of surprising. I thought they would be much better, but again, Winston has been out.
You gotta switch it up if it ain't working. If the game ain't working, you gotta switch it up. Sit in the pocket for so long.
Yep. So I think the Buccaneers are still the team to beat.
Yeah. Surprised the Falcons won 3 games, by the way.
Oh, man, honestly, but yeah, Bucks for sure.
Yeah, as long as TB12 is there, like they're gonna be the squad to beat from that division. So
don't let them get it together.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
Don't get it together.
And that's the thing. That's what everybody is expecting to see.
Mm-hmm.
TB12, and they get it together. Even at 45, 46 years old,
and that man
they expect them to get it together.
That man is still it. It's sad.
But they're gonna have to stop calling those soft personal fouls for rough.
You know they got to protect the GOAT.
If you're gonna call it for Tom Brady, like that's
call it for everybody.
You got to call it for everybody, man.
And they don't.
I mean, I wish that was the world we lived in.
You know, this is his.
Yeah, but you know that's the NFL, not the real world per se.
Right.
So this Brady's division.
Yeah,
politics in sports.
Yep. All right, let's jump in this next division. Who we got? We got AFC South. We got Titans.
Look
Colts,
at the Titans. That's
Jaguars and the Texans. The Texans suck, so we already know what that is.
Yeah.
What Jaguars doing, so the Titans gonna run away with this one.
Easy word. Colts are switching to a different quarterback. I knew Noodle Arm Matt Ryan wasn't going to do it anyway, but I mean,
Noodle Arm.
Noodle Arm. He been Noodle Arm. He was Noodle Arm, and I mean that brother is forever attached to losing that Super Bowl. That's terrible. But Noodle Arm, we knew he was dumb, but they needed a quarterback in Indianapolis.
Good for them.
Noodle Arm. I got a couple partners who are Atlanta fans, so from day one I was like, man, Noodle Arm ain't finna do nothing for y'all, man. Come on, bro. You can't even get the ball down the field no more.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that's an easy one.
That's an easy one. Yeah. Titans running away with that one.
Titans, they don't really have. Yeah, Titans gonna take it.
Yeah,
they traded their top wide receiver Brown to your Eagles, so I was surprised at that.
Hey, and he's we like it. We okay.
And they drafted the same type of receiver from Arkansas. I'm like, okay, all right.
I mean,
they just didn't want to pay that boy. So
this is sometimes it's about that. You got to move that money around.
You got to walk in the office, Patricia, and tell them, bro, we're trading you to the Eagles. How you doing that?
If you're coming to my team?
Well, Titans trade. Remember?
Yeah. No, I know. So
they traded Brown too. So how you going up to Brown telling them that? How you doing that?
Brown likes to party. We going out. We getting a section. We about to turn up, Brown. Welcome to the team.
I got a bottle for you, man. We traded you, bro.
He liked to party.
At the end of the day, these dudes don't care, man. The NFL is more of a business than it's ever been. So when you got that right bag, you can send me.
College, they love the college football more than when you finally go. It becomes a business from there. Like it's all business moves. You're all pawns in this board. So yeah.
Yeah, I've always said that. I enjoy high school football and college football way more than the NFL.
So much more entertaining. It's so much more fun. Just
Yep. So we already know what that one looks like. So let's jump into this next division. Who we got? AFC West. We kind of talked about this, so we already know where we're going with this. We're going with Chiefs.
Mahomes killing it. So the Broncos, man. Fire sale. Time to let it go.
Yeah, I think so.
Time to trade Judy. Time to trade Chubb. What you thinking, Ken?
I don't think they will, because I mean that would to get rid of somebody like Judy is stupid. It would be a stupid move as a franchise, because there's not a lot of guys with that route running ability in the league. There's a lot of guys out here who play great at position, but Jerry Judy is a route specialist.
Right.
And, you don't want to get rid of a young talent like that too early, because he's one of those pieces that you can actually start rebuilding around, and he's young enough to actually be there in his prime. So that's one player I wouldn't get rid of.
So what do you think the problem is?
Quarterback.
Yeah, it is officially showing that, because Marshawn Lynch and Richard Sherman are on a podcast together, and they were talking about it. And the rumor in Seattle is that it was the Legion of Doom that got Russell Wilson, the system and everything that got Russell Wilson. And so Marshawn was like, well, I want to support him because I knew the talk that was going on. But now you in Denver and you ain't looking too good, bro. You get to run your own show. I know it's year one, but you didn't come to a trash team. And you were the missing piece to a really good decent team.
He's not trash. And he goes and he's just, I wanted to give him that time. Like maybe he just needs to, they just needed the time. But we're halfway through and you're the problem.
I'm going to tell you what.
And now he's got a torn hamstring, so to speak.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe Future is smashing Sierra. Maybe that was part of it. He was worried about that mentally. You know what I'm saying? Going this game.
If you know, like I know. Listen,
man on the
these women don't leave their exes, bro.
Hey, he looking up on
these women.
I ain't said nothing, Patricia. Nothing.
Hey, he looking up at the sideline at the press box, trying to see if he can see up there, trying to see if they in that thing.
Okay, Patricia.
Yes, sir.
What if put yourself on the opposite side, brother side?
Okay.
Could you deal with that? Like being talked, your ex being talked about all the time, every time, all the time, and you in this relationship, married, kids, the whole nine, everything. Could you deal with that?
If
you're Russell Wilson and you in this relationship, or even in a woman's perspective, whichever one, could you deal with the ex being talked about? It's not like he's some trash dude, right? He's wealthy, whatever.
Future is trash.
I mean, I'm talking about in terms of
Oh,
financial, that
I
type of
mean,
thing.
but Russ got money, so like, who cares?
But I'm saying, can you deal with that though?
Yeah, because who cares?
Okay, I mean,
Because regardless, if it's me though, because so I'm that nigga regardless. So,
right.
so like that's why I'm like, huh? Like it doesn't really to me. It's like who cares? Like he's still well right now. He need to get it together. I don't know what's going on, but Russ was that guy. Everybody, all the women want Russ and all the like, So it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, it don't look good. Okay, it don't look good, and I don't know. I think it's official that Russ wasn't the one captaining that ship to those Super Bowls in Seattle. That's the
Yeah.
take I get from it.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like. And I mean, right now, he missing wide open reads and wide open receivers and
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff. Like, and I really think he's sidetracked somehow. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's I mean, of course,
what
we're
is
joking
this?
about the Sierra thing because we don't know.
I
But
mean, maybe he ain't getting no Bush. Maybe she don't shut that thing down. I
Why
don't know.
gotta be a bush?
and that's even worse. And that's even worse because if you got all this talk going on about future, and then she's not doing that, that's even worse, bro.
I mean, that
And the
could weigh on a man's heart. I'm just saying.
fact of the matter that they have a child together means that
Children.
she has to see him at points. You know what I'm saying? Well, with future, she only got one
Oh
with
yeah,
future.
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like she has to see him at some point. You know what I'm saying? So that's a sticky situation, man. So
But
hey,
what I
Yeah.
wonder, like, we'll never know what really goes on,
nah,
and
we
that's
won't.
the thing.
I just can't. I can't play that game.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
a
not.
solo artist, so go do your thing. I ain't around. I'll send you some money. I don't want to see you. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Maybe
would.
he's just in his own head.
Yeah, that
or
too.
maybe he actually just suck.
Where okay, so Russ,
I don't think he sucks
I
at
don't
all.
think Russ sucks though.
I
I
don't.
don't
I
think he does.
mean,
I
I
think
he
really
when you
don't.
sucked
got
this year.
I think when you
Well,
got a guy like that, just like I said with Ben Simmons earlier, you got a lot of guys who mentally have a block and can't focus, and that's why you have things like sports psychologists
and
that
Right.
are
that's what I think
helping
is wrong
these
with
guys
him.
get it in their head and get past these mental blocks where they can
Mhm.
perform at the high level that they're used to. So I think that's what's wrong with Russ. Something is going on, whether it's at home or whether it's professional or something somewhere mentally is
Right.
affecting him where he can't perform at his highest level. Once he can fix that, and maybe it might take this year to have some turmoil
Yeah.
and get right over the summer and the off season and come back with a full training camp and you know what I'm saying, be able to flush that out. And they might be looking way different next year.
Next year, I
We'll
I
see.
will put it out there. Next year will be different for us.
They in a tough division. Chargers, Chiefs. Chargers
I'm
are
not saying
hurt
he gonna
this year, and
win.
they're still second in the division so far. Raiders, we kind of expected them to be third. Anybody expect the Raiders to be better?
No,
The Raiders are settling where I thought that they
Raiders
eventually
are just
would.
riding that wave. They just
And
Right.
they're
coasting.
they're
I
they're
expected the Broncos to be in that 1-2, fighting for that 1-2. That ain't happening. So
Yeah,
Chargers and Chiefs, and we know Chiefs gonna take that.
he's
So
gonna take it.
yeah. So the Raiders are mediocre, and they've been mediocre for quite a
by
quite
the
a
way,
long.
by the way.
So
Yeah.
we're there. So let's hop to this next division. Boom. We got the AFC North.
Mm.
This is about what I expected. Even just looking
No,
at
the Steelers disappointed me. And the reason it disappointed me is because they went after Mitchell Trubisky. I thought that they should have did a better play at quarterback. Of course, now finding out that they wanted to get Kenny Pickett, different story. But I was upset when they got, because I thought that they would be much better.
I didn't. This division is
I
what
got
I thought it would be. The
You
yeah.
thought
Ravens,
that Steelers would be behind the Browns?
the Ravens and the Bengals are the
I,
two teams in that
Right,
division
yeah,
that
they are.
will be at the top. Point
right.
blank. Period.
And I think I'm
So
fooling with Bengals.
yeah, because see, here's the thing: the difference between those two teams, it comes down to the quarterback play and decision making. I
Right.
don't
Mm-hmm.
take anything away from the Ravens, but it seems like in the playoffs, Lamar Jackson's decision making just isn't the best at this point
Yeah.
still. So
I agree. Well, one of those years, his receivers was just dropping balls, man. Like
Well,
they hadn't gave him no top-notch wide receiver. So
I think that may be part of the case, but I think also if he is able to get an offensive coordinator who can help him develop as a quarterback,
right.
I think, or a quarterback's coach that can help him develop a little bit more as a quarterback, because I think at this time he's a quarterback for sure, but I think he's still leaning too much on his athletic ability versus his ability to throw, because he can throw and people discount that all the time because his legs.
Yeah, he got a rocket and he's accurate. He can throw the ball. They finally got some decent receivers there. I wouldn't call them top notch.
Yeah.
But they just don't seem on point chemistry wise this year. They seem a little off. They done lost 3 games. And those 3 games that they lost, they were winning. And they lost them late in the game. And they almost did the same thing against the Browns and lost that game. So the record should be better, but they just don't seem chemistry-wise like they handling business. And that might be because LJ didn't get his contract. I don't know.
Well, you got that looming, but I also think that defense is not as good as it had been too.
I think they need some time though, because they changed up some and they got some young cats in there. They got the kid from Notre Dame as their safety. They had to run a zone scheme this year to kind of protect the young guys. So they're going to have to kind of adjust a little bit. I expect them to get better as the year goes on. But
yeah, I was going to say, but they're not. The Bengals coming out on top.
You got the Bengals?
Mm-hmm.
You got the Bengals? Okay.
I mean, when the Bengals go as far as they did last year, it's kind of hard to pick against them. So.
Yeah, you feel me?
Yep.
I could see that. Joe Cool Burrow reminds me of Montana. So. But I'm going to stick with the Ravens because I want to see LJ8. I kind of got the same hope that Aaron Judge had, was hoping he would get to the World Series and ball out so he can get that dope contract. Didn't happen, got swept by the Stros. Another story. I'm hoping the same thing for LJ8. Regular season don't really matter. You get in them playoffs and you make it happen so you can get that $250 million guarantee. I'm just saying.
Okay.
When the money's on the line, we're
going to see.
Got to do something.
So, all right. So we got one more division left. All right. We got the AFC East. We got the Bills, Jets, Dolphins, and the Patriots. Actually, outside the Patriots, this is a pretty interesting division.
It is.
So what y'all thinking?
Bills is the team going to Super Bowl for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll go Bills.
Okay. I think the Bills is the pick, but I also think that the sleeper is probably the Dolphins because it depends on if their quarterback play is there, right? Because
to me, the sleeper will always be the Patriots. Because I will not any of those 3 teams. If Bill Belichick plays you in the playoffs, I would pick Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick
the same anymore.
Bill Belichick, that ship has sailed.
Yeah,
and I would agree. But you know how you hold on. You know how you hold on until it fades away. You try to
because you're
just like okay.
When TB went to a whole nother squad and still got it done, that lets you know that
it was TB12.
Exactly,
man. So like I said, nothing to take away from Bill Belichick because he did his thing, but when you have quite honestly what is considered the GOAT of NFL quarterbacks at this point, it's easy to say you're the best coach, right? When you have the best quarterback, you know what I'm saying? And we can argue that because, like I said, my thing is I'm not saying he's the GOAT, but people who say he is, you can't really argue it because he checks all the boxes.
Yeah,
right. He's the winningest quarterback in history. So
absolutely.
And
I mean, Belichick did win with the Giants in Super Bowl, so
yeah, but that wasn't his squad. You know what I'm saying? He was part of that squad, but that was
defensive. He was a defensive coach. So.
That he wasn't the head coach. So
that's a big difference.
Yeah, you can't count that. But like I said, my thing is TB12 has proven that he's a winner wherever he goes.
Wherever he goes, yeah, definitely.
GOAT. He the GOAT. I hate to say it because I'm a Joe Montana fan, but
I
the
mean,
GOAT.
you just got to give credit when credit is due. Like,
Right. I mean,
because like I said, you hate to love him, but how can you not?
He checks all the boxes, man.
He just gets the job done.
Yeah, he checks all the boxes. Longevity. He was with a team for the bulk of his career. He only left because basically they kind of
pushed him out the door.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what people look at when they check off the boxes for a player to be the GOAT, is these boxes that, you know, you got the stats, you got the longevity, you got this, you got that. Did you win? How much did you win? Were you dominant during the period that you were winning? Because
I can't wait to hear, if it ever comes out, the relationship between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Like, how crazy it was. Because he just left. He dipped.
Yeah.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in that conversation to hear that.
I think it just ran its course, bro. I think it's, you know, like anything, it has an expiration date.
Yeah, I was gonna say respectfully, it's the nature of the beast. It's the game.
Yeah. So it just ran its course, and you know they knew the ticket that was going to come with him being there, and they weren't willing to pay that price for him anymore. So they thought they could do better, and you know they were wrong.
Now they're struggling.
That's a bad
one. She thought she could do better, huh?
Hey, sometimes that happens in life where people think they can do better, and then you see them struggling, and you drive by in your nice car with your new person.
Yes.
You're like, beep, beep. All right, now.
I do it all the time.
This guy. All right. Well, that was our last commentary for the NFL. We gave you a lot of great feedback and information tonight.
Yes.
These are always our longer episodes because we try to get, you know, to the bare bones and have these conversations. So whenever you see this video, feel free to comment. We'll see the comments and we go back and we respond to those comments, because I'm pretty sure something has been said during this episode that you're gonna be like, oh no, I don't agree with
crazy. And somebody gonna come back and call us out on our mess, like they lost, they didn't.
Yeah, it's all right. So this is what we do. This is sports journalism, sports podcast, and this is what we do. We want to say something to make you revert back and say something back, but you can't deny the excellency. It's prevalent, you know.
But the breaking news, the headline of the day is Benji came out of the closet.
Yes.
Hold on. Clear that up, because I ain't coming.
That's why I said, let me stop right there. So, so he came out the closet, and he is now letting everybody know what we've already known, is he is a 49ers fan.
I'm 49ers fan.
So he no longer can be called a sports orphan because he has a team now.
I mean, see, I had to break the monotony. You know what I'm saying? Like, Patricia and Ken done called the boy the sports orphan. So now I got to go change my whole Bleacher Report profile. So,
yeah. What does it say on your profile?
Sports orphan.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, good for you. Look at her being a supportive mom. Oh, good for you. I can see you telling your daughter that today after her cheer thing or whatever.
No, I was like, girl, why are you still talking to them? I gotta go.
Get your butt.
I was just looking at her like, what is she doing? And she's
being social.
It's like, girl,
let's go.
All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna get up out of here. We're gonna do our usual. Y'all already know how we do. Trisha, Michelle, talk to the people, let them know something before we roll.
Oh man, y'all can find me the at there. This one, that one, yeah.
Go
on Instagram.
She got her copper hair going today.
Yeah. At Trisha Michelle _YT on Instagram, Trisha Michelle on YouTube, Trisha Michelle _ on TikTok. Just, you know, pretty much type in Trisha Michelle almost anywhere you can find me. Somebody in the comments, if you're still around, was asking about my videos and stuff on YouTube, wondering when I'm dialing that back up. Just stay tuned, because it's definitely coming back. I'm doing a lot of different things. So it's been a year since my last post. That's crazy. But yeah, I haven't left. Don't worry. I miss y'all too. So yeah, make sure y'all go over there too. Support, because we all support each other.
Facts. All right. Benji, the 49er fan, the man, the brand. Talk to
I
me.
appreciate y'all, man. You know what? I appreciate y'all. And I'm just gonna say this, man. We get some amazing feedback from some dope people on our show. And I just want to say thank you to all the listeners, the people that subscribe, the people that rock with us, that share, that check us out. We appreciate y'all, man. We put this show together, man, so that we can give y'all some dope information and try to stand out and be different than everybody else. So we're glad that y'all enjoy our dynamic. You can follow me on IG, BRB4701. The name is there. I'm on TikTok, but I ain't really floating it yet. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get there. We're gonna start making an impact on TikTok or whatever you want to call it soon. Find me on Facebook, Benji Banks. Huh?
You ain't gonna make no impact calling it that.
I mean, we're gonna create something. And make it happen.
You over here sounding about 65.
65.
Boys, listen to Hibbity Hop.
Hibbity Hop.
Tickety tock, that thing right there.
Tickety tock. Hook it up. But man, yeah, we appreciate y'all. Those of you who give us the dope feedback in the inboxes when we have conversations, sharing the information, man, getting y'all to come subscribe to the show, all of that type of stuff, man. We appreciate y'all. Keep rocking with us. We're gonna continue to grow, and we're gonna keep giving y'all this dope content because that's what we got to do. If it ain't live, it ain't me, it ain't us. I'm just saying. So keep pulling up.
Okay, Mystical.
I'm glad you got see my boy.
I'm just saying.
Hip hop. See, he picked that up. That's it. I had that one in my memory bank. I had to get that one out.
I see.
Only Mystical when it comes to hip hop, not outside.
Yes. No, not the.
Yeah.
We ain't walking in the. You can't say that. Trish on the show. We ain't walking in the station. You know. We straight.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate Benji for giving us that information. Y'all follow Benji and Trisha Michelle, and y'all already know y'all can follow me at Big Ken's Comedy on IG, Big Ken's Comedy on Twitter, Big Ken's Comedy on Facebook. Y'all can catch the Fiyah session on all social media platforms. Just go to the search bar, type FIYAH session, and we'll pop up. You're on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe, hit that little bell so you can get the notifications every time we go live and every time we have new content. Share with your friends, share with your family. We are family and friends, you know what I'm saying, safe most of the time. But
yeah, we always clowning. We cool. We straight though.
Yeah, we try to keep it reasonable.
We're a nice, safe environment.
Yeah, so you can
the kids can watch us. Your grandma can watch us.
I wouldn't say the kids, just
know that
on some nights they can. Not all nights.
I don't know about that, but
every once in a while we just got Benji.
Yeah, so
I mean,
needless to say, tune in, catch all the dope content and all the dope interviews and all the dope information that we put out there. As we say all the time, we put the medicine in the candy. We're going to give you some information and we're going to give you some entertainment at the same time. Y'all make sure y'all tune in each week, Tuesday, live at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Y'all holler at us. Y'all already know how we do. It's the Fiyah session. Peace.
Deuces.
Thank you for tuning in to the Fiyah session. Follow us on all social media platforms. Just search Fiyah Session.